When
truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, still unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
Check out my buddy Matthew Spear over there at the Dumb Show. Dumbshow.com. Get to see people like yours truly right here. Maybe that's a reason for you to not check it out. But check it out anyway. There's a lot of people better than me on there that a lot better stories. But check them out. Dumbshow.com. Matt, take care, buddy. God bless you, everyone.
Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now. About this new world. Ain't no train. Papa's got a brand new eye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Matthew Spear running solo tonight. Leroy is headed to Tennessee for some stuff, so he will not be available. And then Olivia is off tonight, but she's out doing some shopping and she's with the kids and doing all that type of stuff. And then, yeah, I'm here. But April 22nd, which is tomorrow, we have Barry Morgenstein. It'll be Barry and I running solo first time. I'm excited for that. That'll be fun. We're going to keep him here the full 2 hours, make him earn every penny. Damani Felder be here May 1st on Friday. Jeremy Mitchell will be coming on in, who is a huge, huge influence on the show. Great guy. Worked with Chris Tonto Pronto, Jessica Lynch, and others, and just one hell of a guy. T.S. Dixon will be coming on as well. Great author. Ryan Weaver, and then Ryan Samuels. Whole bunch of great people. We got Laura Logan, who is also going to be coming on in June, and she just had some things that she's taking care of, and she's going to be back on the show. And then we've got a whole bunch of other people coming. So good to have you here. Quick thing, folks, the store. I don't talk about it enough. TheDumbShow.com. You can get coffee, shirts, hats, books, all that type of stuff. And let me explain something, folks. It's really simple. The store has great stuff. I can sit here and tell you all day long how great it is, and you always hear that from people, you know, when they're doing their advertisements. We don't BS you. It's got a Diamond Transparency Award. It's one of the highest rated awards you can get on an online store, and we've got it. We would love for you to go on over there, take a look. get yourself some coffee, some shirts, whatever. And the thing is that we are kind of in a state of flux with the store, and I'll tell you why. Shopify has increased their prices over and over, and there's a monthly charge to have that store open. And we're getting to the point where we're wondering if we're going to keep it open or not. So we need your help. And if you're looking to help out the show, that's a great way to do it. You can also help us out by going to thedumbshow.com/donate, and you can donate to the show. We have a goal of 300. Unfortunately, we won't have donations until a little after 7 o'clock tonight, so probably 7:30 or so. My daughter gets home. She's at her play party, and then she'll be here and she'll put in donations. Anyway, welcome to the show. Big thing going on tonight. I'm sure everyone understands. Looks like everything's 5x5 and working. That's really good news. But what's really bad news is Virginia is in the heat of an election. I don't know how you would say it. It's just it's an out of season April election, which is unheard of in Virginia. It doesn't take place. And the reason why it doesn't take place is because this is unprecedented. Now, unprecedented doesn't mean new. People think unprecedented means new. It just means hasn't happened before, comparable to current circumstances. So it's not exactly new. Other states have done this. This has happened all over different countries. And out of cycle elections normally happen when it's a position like somebody dies or somebody resigns or somebody gets thrown out, which we've seen a little bit this month. So this is different. This is a constitutional amendment to the Virginia state's constitution. That's a big thing. And this would normally be on the ballot in November. And the reason why is because you would have most people voting. But when you slide it into April, it's the only reason is they don't want it on the ballot in April. They want to go ahead and redistrict now and cheat. We talked about this on the show this morning. If you guys had a chance to see it, we did a quick little blurb. I'm going to put it up here right now. We are going to be following this for the rest of the night. But here is the video this morning, kind of help explain things.
You've been hearing this for a couple months now, but I just want to ask my fellow Virginians a quick question. Since when has the government ever given power back to the people willingly? They don't, and the answer is never. They hold on tight, they twist the rules and call it temporary fairness. Right now, on this April 21st, 2026, the politicians in Richmond want you to approve a constitutional amendment that lets the Commonwealth Legislature redraw our congressional maps. Just for this election cycle. They call it temporary. They say it restores balance. But here's the real play. They know the Virginia Supreme Court won't have time to hear a challenge and strike it down before the votes are cast and the seats are locked in. Once those rigged lines are used, the damage is going to be done. Your voice gets diluted for years. They want to turn our current fair 6-5 split into a 10-1 landslide, cracking Prince William County into 5 pieces, carving up Fairfax, stretching districts like taffy to swallow rural voices across the Shenandoah and Piedmont. Neighborhoods split, families divided, hardworking people in the truck, the classroom, the farm, their votes watered down so one party can dominate. We fought for better. In 2020, 66% of us across parties and localities voted to create a bipartisan redistricting commission so politicians could no longer pick their own voters. We got competitive maps that actually reflected our purple Commonwealth. Now they want to undo what we built, all under the cover of temporary. When map makers in Richmond draw the lines to protect themselves, safe seats breed extremes. Representatives stop listening to you and start answering to party bosses. Cynicism grows, trust dies. Our Commonwealth, the birthplace of America's self-government, deserves better. Virginians, this is our moment. Your neighbor's voice, your children's future, and the simple belief that your ballot still counts. They're all on the line today. I'm asking you, from the heart, stand up for the Commonwealth we love. Do the honest, straightforward thing. Vote no. Vote no so our maps stay fair. Vote no so power stays with the people, not the map makers. Vote no because this republic belongs to us, not to whoever holds the pen in Richmond for one convenient election. Because rich men in Richmond shouldn't control our fates. It's up to you. Get out there and vote. Thank you.
Nick Freitas had a great video today. Shared it on the Twitter page. So did Scott Pressler, everybody's involved in this. Everyone's getting involved. Governor Youngkin's involved too. A comment was made that this is a special election. No, it is not a special election in any way, shape, or form. This is not a special election. Special election means, like I said, somebody died, somebody resigned, somebody was ousted for nefarious means or a recall vote. Special election can take place when you have a tie or the 50 rules not met in some states. This is not a special election. This is a referendum. This is a constitutional amendment, and this is something that should be on the ballot for November. Another comment was, well, this can be overturned by the state Supreme Court. It won't matter because the damage will be done, and they're not going to recall those seats. So they can redistrict all they want, but the process is November. If they are on the ballot and they go ahead and make these runs and these redistricts, it's not going to be overturned. That's not the way this works. You take a look at Texas. Texas just did this. They did it based upon demographics from within party politics, which is the way it's supposed to be done. There's precedents. The Supreme Court has said that is not gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is when you do it by demographic, sexuality, religion, military status, income quality. If you pee sitting down or standing up, whatever it would be, that would be gerrymandering. And this is most assuredly in Texas, not gerrymandering. Federal panel said so of 3 judges in a district court. Well, that was vetoed by and went right to the Supreme Court because of the necessity and the speed of it. So I imagine that the same thing will happen here. They're not going to be able to get this before November. This would have to go to the state Supreme Court. State Supreme Court will probably let it stay, and they will punt to the federal judges. The chances of April, May, June, July, there's 4 months, 5 months, no. So that's why they want to do this now, is they don't care. This is why they also made it, and here's the thing, is that they made it temporary. So in 2030, when the census comes, it'll go back to normal. So this is simply just a retroactive abortion of Texas. So that's all they're doing, and that's exactly what they're doing. What have I heard? I'm hearing good things. Everything I'm hearing is good things. I've talked to a few poll watchers. I just went out and voted with Olivia about an hour and a half ago, and it was predominantly Trump supporters. The poll watchers are Trump supporters. I wore my hat. They saw it. And I said under my breath, I said, you guys got to vote no. I don't care which part of the party you are. This is bullshit. You know it's bullshit. It can't happen. And the lady's like, I completely agree with you. I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing that the voter turnout today is massive compared to Democrats. But the problem is that early voting, Democrats owned. We're going to know, but it's going to be close. Like the polls said it was about 5%. Here's the good news. 2020, you had 66% of Virginia vote for the nonpartisan committee to decide on redistricting processes and to remove it from politicians. The only problem with that is Youngkin won in 2022. So 2022 TO, not 2020 TO. Well, no, it'd be TOO also. Yeah. So 2020 TOO. No, just 2020 as well. No, it'd be 2022 as in 2. Sorry. So it's not 2 as in add additional 2. It's not 2 as in TWO as in 2022. And it's not 2, which would be improper English, but also that too. It's 2020. Full stop. Youngkin was nominated, and that would usually translate to success. But Spanberger and everybody kicked the living dog shit out of the Republicans in 2024. So I don't know, folks. I think it's this. If Fairfax, if Richmond, if V Beach, if Northern Virginia gets out and vote, we're screwed. If rural communities, I saw a lot of rural people on the road. I'll tell you what, I've seen some people that I haven't seen in years driving around, trucks coming out from the hills. And, I'm in a podunk. So, that's where we're at, yo. I don't know what to tell you. I'm hoping. Trying to see what's in the picture here. Oh, it's my phone. Okay. So, Republicans are pissed. Moderates are pissed. And that's a good thing. And that's a good sign. And if they continue to stay pissed, then we should have a good thing. Let's go ahead and get some start. We've got a shit ton of people on. So first of all, I want to say hello to everybody over on Twitter. I want to say hello to everybody over on Facebook. Folks, we are a donation-based site. You can watch this. You don't have to go ahead and donate. We would appreciate it if you do. But if you do follow, like, share, and subscribe, hit the like button as many times as you can. Follow us. If you're over on X, we can't grow on X. Help us out. We have 70 people watching over on X. Help us out. Hit the like button. Hit the follow. And stay with us. If this is passed in Virginia, does it then set a precedent for other states? Yes, and this is why they're doing it. They've dumped $96 million into this shit. Pardon the language. I'm a little fiery tonight. $96 million they've pumped into this election. This is ridiculous. This is the biggest special interest spend ever. And this is a bigger spend than California propositions. This is ridiculous. Like $96 million. Guys, there is an ad every 30 seconds on every news channel. It's everywhere. There are signs everywhere. This is massive. It's just massive. And the reason why it's massive is because this will set precedent, like you said. This makes it happen. Without this, Democrats have a good chance of getting screwed in the House. And the only way they can actually win it is obviously doing this. So all the lies that you're hearing, here's a quick video, just kind of explain some things in a little bit more in depth. Watch this.
Who knows?
Sure. Well, that's what this is about. It's about the Democrats trying to gain 4 seats, but they're marketing it as an exercise in fairness, which is just so insulting given what the map looks like. And the fact that a 6-5 map currently, that's what we now have in Virginia, one of the fairest maps in the country, would go 10-1, arguably the most gerrymandered map in the entire country. One example is Fairfax County, very big, very blue county in Northern Virginia. There will be 5 congressional districts running through that county. You could have 5 Democrats representing 5 different seats, all living in their districts and in Fairfax County. It's crazy.
There you go. Panel, thanks. Who knows?
And here is some conversations about the ballot and what people are saying, some feedback that we're getting.
I mean, what type of measure is this?
It's a measure to silence and disenfranchise the voices of millions of Virginians. And you're exactly right. When even the Washington Post calls the Yes campaign brazenly dishonest, that says something. They're definitely not a friend to conservatives. But what this is nothing but a left-wing power grab. Virginians had already spoken on this in 2020 by a 30-point landslide. They said, hey, we don't want politicians of either party drawing these lines. But Democrats, as soon as they got in power, remember Abigail Spanberger promised in August of 2025 that she wasn't going to gerrymander Virginia, yet that was the very first bill she signed in the office. It's one of the reasons why she's the least popular governor in the entire history of modern Virginia politics. But for rural Virginia, for good government Democrats, independents, and Republicans, they need to go out today. Your polling location is open. Vote no, because if this passes, this is the definition of disenfranchisement. You're going to have 5 congressmen that live in a 15-mile radius of each other in Northern Virginia. You're going to take a state that which 48.5% of Virginians have voted for a Republican to represent them in Congress and give them 9% of the representation. And Hampton Roads are going to take a seat from Hampton Roads, rip it away, put it in Northern Virginia, take the Shenandoah Valley, divide it into 4 districts. It's been called the most gerrymandered map in the entire country. And now it's why rural Virginians are standing up saying, no, do not disenfranchise our voices, because 56 counties in Virginia, if this passes, will effectively not have a voice in Congress. That's wrong. That's not fair. That's not democracy. Virginians need to go vote now, today.
So that's where we're at. Like I said, right now the turnout is supposed to be fairly decent. I want to apologize because we're going to have to reset some of the videos because I didn't have a chance. It's been a crazy, crazy day. Lots been going on. The AC guys were here taking all of our money. They doubled the... They went to the upstairs unit and they found black mold in the upstairs unit too. This is a 10-year-old house. It's a state-of-the-art house. It's just Virginia's air and the amount of pollen we get. So they did the downstairs this morning, and then he went up into the attic and he's like, show me photographs. He's like, here's your unit. Luckily, it's not in your vents. It's just in the system itself, but we need to put the UV light here because you have a 2-level system. So essentially what we paid for the first thing, we had to pay for the second. So just just the hits keep coming. You guys know how it is. It's life. And, it is what it is. So it's just been a crazy day. But we have a whole bunch of news. I want to go ahead and expand on this just a little bit more. And this is, I believe, Newsmax covered this. And then I've got some other videos we'll be dropping in here. But here we go.
The new map favors Democrats in 10 out of the 11 congressional districts. President Trump writing on Truth, Virginia, vote no to save your country. I think in the last election, 43% of the state voted Republican. So, of course, it's fair and equitable, to quote Democrats, that 90% of them should be represented by Democrats. Governor, does this make sense?
This is the most dishonest campaign that I've seen in all my years in Virginia. And the reason for that, Mark, is that 6 years ago in 2020, voters already went to the polls, and by a 2-to-1 margin, 66%, they voted to amend the Constitution of Virginia to take the power away from the politicians to pick their voters and give it to a bipartisan redistricting commission. That's been the law. So we've decided this question until the Democrats decided to change the law. I mean, Princeton rates Virginia as with an A as one of the most fair electoral maps any place in the country. And now they're trying to change it. And it's just completely wrong. In the home of Thomas Jefferson and Patrick Henry, that the statesmen that we've had before us, that they would do this unprecedented power grab and lying that somehow that it's restoring fairness. It's complete nonsense, and I think the voters will see through it.
Yeah, a lot of people, if you live in Virginia, you know what's going on, but a lot of people are tuning in and you're not quite sure. So Virginia is about, and correct me if I'm wrong, Governor and Senator, but it's about 42%-ish Republicans and about 45-ish% Democrat. So right now it's split. 6 seats are the Democrats and 5 seats are the Republicans. It kind of mirrors what you see in the state. This would do nothing of the sort. It goes from a bipartisan commission every 10 years based on the census, drawing the districts, to basically Democrats taking this Sharpie and just going, this looks good. So what do you do, Senator, what do you do to explain to constituents, to explain to the people in Virginia that they've got to be out there if they want control over who's representing them? They've got to be out there voting on this.
We've been out at the polls all morning. My daughter's there. I left her working the polls this morning. Turnout is pretty strong in my area. So we're seeing people come out, and even Democrats are saying this is just not fair. Two wrongs do not make a right. If the Democrats believe the president was wrong, then how come so many Democratic states like California, Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, Maryland, all redistricted Republicans out of congressional seats based on those same proportional votes? When we're looking at Virginia, our communities want to vote with each other. They want their representative to be from their area. People where I live in Hanover and New Kent and James City do not want their member of Congress to come from Arlington or Alexandria. It is straight up a partisan political power grab, and Virginia voters recognize this, and they're not going to be fooled. They need to vote no. Time is running out. You have until 7 o'clock tonight.
You look at that map, certainly it wouldn't be representative if you picked representatives that way.
Governor, a year ago at this time, you had a Republican governor of the Commonwealth. I believe at least one of the 2 legislative chambers was controlled by Republicans. Republicans didn't pull this kind of nonsense, and yet as soon as Democrats get complete control, they use Trump derangement syndrome to supposedly defend democracy by eliminating democracy.
Well, history is a powerful tool. And so this claim that somehow it started with President Trump in Texas is completely wrong. Now, I think Texas was wrong. They should not have done it, but we don't have to follow Texas. There are a number of states, Indiana, South Carolina, and even Democrat Maryland, that have majorities that could have done this, and they chose not to do it because it's bad government and sets a long precedent where you're changing your congressional representatives every time a new party takes power. What this is all about, gentlemen and ladies, is, and they need to know it, is it started decades ago in New England, where 7 New England states have 0 Republican congressmen. That's where this redistricting started, but it's been resisted until just now. Republicans, other than Texas, are not doing this because it's bad government, it's unfair, and I urge people to go out and vote no.
Okay.
I'm Sean Kreisman. For stories and content just like this, check out National Report weekdays 9 to noon.
So one hell of a good synopsis of what's going on. I disagree with his comment about Texas, and it's not because I'm a Republican. It's first of all, I understand Texas, and the districting in Texas has changed. The cities have changed. It is constantly on the move, and for anyone to pretend that they did it by racial gerrymandering is ridiculous. The federal panel that said it was racial gerrymandering was absolutely wrong. I don't support their synopsis in any way, shape, or form. And the reason I don't is not because, once again, I'm biased. It's because I looked at the way they district, and yes, there was some obscurities for sure. But it's also rural, and it's just like Virginia. But the difference is the way the Democrats are doing it is they're literally sticking a pin up in North Virginia and going all the way down to Richmond. Some of this stuff goes halfway across the map. If you look at it, it's a ridiculous comparison. But anyway, we've got some live election results already. I'm going to go to it right now. I'm also got Fox on and things like that, but I want to make sure that we cover this and we give you guys a snapshot of what's going on. So I think Instagram people, you'll be able to see this. It's in a 9:16 format. You should be good. So it's not going to be huge, but you'll be able to see it. By the way, donations, folks, Hayden is going to be on donations for us tonight. Would really like to hit that number, especially after the AC bill we got. We could always use those donations. So your help would mean a lot. Right now, the results are it's 49%, 49.8% no, and 50.2% yes. I'm going to give you some information here. Seems like it is moving again. It's 51%. It seems like the no's have now taken it. We're going to ignore this one. This is updated behind. It's about 4 minutes behind. This seems to be a live result. Right now, we've got about 7. This is huge, but holy shit. 27% of the vote in, and we've already got 800,000 votes in here. This is good. This is a good sign. This means people are showing up. They're fired up, and the rural counties look like they are blooming, which is great. You got a bunch of this is very, very similar to election night that we saw just by looking at this in 2024. You've got some huge density here. Let's go into this. This looks very much like the 2024 Spanberger election. You're getting massive turnout up in here in Loudoun, but that's not as many as I thought. That is a 40.60-40. That's not good enough. They're not going to win with that. That's what you want to see. See, that's what Democrats want to see. They want to see 20%. This would be similar to election night, but that's not good enough. 64-35 is not good enough. 65-34. Seems right now we've got even Democrat strongholds are Alexandria. That's a good one. But look at this. You've got Stafford, which is hitting no. You've got Spotsylvania, which is coming in no. These are decently sized surrounding areas. Rockingham is just these rural counties are coming in just like election night, and Democrats so far are not. This Loudoun at 61-39, that is not a good sign for liberals. 70-29. Let's go down here. Virginia Beach. Oh, holy shit. Virginia Beach is coming in hot. That's a big win. Chesapeake is also coming in hot. That's a big win. Norfolk, that's not great, folks. 63-36. That's not going to win it for the Democrats if they keep up with these numbers. Portsmouth, 65-34. Seems to be like a 65-35 split. 65-35 split, I don't think it wins it because I think these rural counties are going to come in. Look at these 80s, 20s. This is very 2024. 82-17. Rurals are just, they're not taking this shit. Rurals are coming out. They're coming out heavy, and this looks good so far. Early numbers are, in my opinion, just at first glance, very positive for Republicans that we are outperforming these votes. Now, what's the percentage in? This is 50% of the votes are in Prince William, 90% in Loudoun, folks. I'm almost ready to call it that this is going to go no. If Loudoun is at 90% in already and they are running a 60-40, I don't think it's enough for them to win. Arlington's at 70% in. Fairfax is 87. A lot of these Democrats are early votes. This once again shows you that Democrats do not show up and vote on election day. 59%, 30%, 79%. All right. How's this? Virginia Beach is only 26%, but that's breaking for Republicans. 45%. The big hitters, Chesterfield is coming in a little slow. That's 36%. That could be a saving grace for them. My first initial reaction, and I'm pretty damn good at this, and I usually get this. Charlottesville coming in, 70% of the vote in, is that conservatives are showing up, and they're coming in heavy. Here's the thing you need to consider, though, is Loudoun right here. Once again, at 6139, you've got 83,000. You're looking at 136,000 votes in, and there's only 10% left, 13,000 votes, and it's breaking. But here, 76%, 44%. And these aren't small counties. These are, you're talking an additional 7, 8, 9, 10,000 votes in these counties, which will circumvent what's happening over here in Loudoun. Arlington is coming in. Let's see what the numbers say now. Here we go, folks. See? Like I told you, it's looking real good for us. This based upon me just doing the George Bush math, I think 59-31, possibly 55-35. Well, that's not the number we're looking for. 55-45 is what I'm looking between a 10 and a 15 point swing right now, just on me just doing the math in my head, looking at the map. And you might say, well, how do you know that? How can you do that? Because I've been doing this since I was 6 years old, and I love this shit. And I know these counties. I know them all over the country. We do these from the national vote. You haven't watched our election shows. We're pretty good at this. And you can get a real general idea. And it's real simple, folks. I'll show you how it works. Take this circle, 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 this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so all of those are basically winning in the same way. You see this? 80%, 20%, 80%, 20%, 71-30, 76-23. So basically 80-20 to 70-30, right? So you got to understand that if we're winning 40 points in these things, even though it might only be 8, 10, 15,000 votes, these big ones are already in. And it's not breaking the same way. So you got to take all this red. See these giant red ones? These are all breaking the opposite way, 75-25. So you can see that Republicans showed up, and this is a great fucking sign for midterms. I'm just letting you know. This would be a huge loss for Democrats. This would be a massive, monumental loss for Democrats. Massive. Let's take a look here. A comic is coming in at plus 35.8 for no. Alexandria is winning 54, but look at these. Allegheny, Amelia, Amherst, Appomattox. Arlington's coming in at 62.7, but look at this. Bath, Bedford, Bland, Betort, Bristol, Brunswick's a plus 3.5. 75% in Buchanan, 20 in Buckingham, 68% in Carroll, 22 here. Charlottesville, Charlotte. Look at these reds, dude. They're just dominating. You have some big swaths, but Republicans are absolutely. Look at these numbers. 40%, 51, 80%, 40, 77, 63, 73, 25, 11, 12, 11, 12, 3, 72, 13, 39, 68, 35, 9, 70, 65, and 23.7. Folks, it's a good turnout. What happened to my beautiful thing? Oh, here we go. That's a good turnout. Don't ignore this. This hasn't been updated. This is what you're looking at. Look at it. Remember what I said? 45-55. There's your 45-55. I still think it goes 60-40. I really do. I think a 60-40 is not. This is a complete repudiation of Democrat policies. That's what this is right now. This is just an absolute. You are going to lose the midterms. We are going to vote Republican. Spanberger's a piece of shit. You lied to us. You said you were a moderate. You're a commie. And this is great. You want to know what I think they should do? Honestly, I think every Republican red state should redistrict now. You have permission. Gerrymander the shit out of it. Who cares? At this point, what do we have to lose? If they're going to do this, I don't care about two wrongs don't make a right. This is war. Go after them. Go after them. Do it. Uncounted voters. Let's take a look. They're not updating this. They would in the normal election, so that's not going to help us. County leaders. Look at this. Look at this red. Just domination. Domination. Some of these areas are late counts. So it's not over, right? I mean, you guys gotta understand. It's not over. It's not even close to over. But it's looking very, very good right now. It's looking very, very good. Right now, there's 1.1 million votes. Give you an idea, I think it was 3.7, 3.8 in the 2024 election. Let me find out. Oh, no, it was more than that. Sorry. 4.5 million people voted in 2024 elections for governor. We're not going to hit that. And that benefits the rural communities. So polls have already closed. Now it's counting, folks. Now we're counting. So this is all we're doing. We're counting right now. But 36% of the votes are counted. Like I said, this isn't over by a long shot. This could swing. But right now it looks very, very good. This looks very good. A 10% swing is really good. But remember, don't forget, let's not get too far ahead. This has 0 reports. 0, 0, 0. These are all red, by the way. This is red. This is red. Red, red, red. Cumberland, Lunenburg, no, red. Lunenburg might be, but these aren't going to, but right here, Caroline and Hanover, these are important. You've got King and Queen, that's nothing. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 counties that aren't in yet. Hold on, I gotta find out where my kid is. I'm gonna play another video here real quick. Here's Tim Kaine. This is a senator. Senator saying, listen to this guy. Listen to this jerk.
Listen, let's talk about the last vote there in Virginia, the presidential vote. Vice President Kamala Harris won by about 5 percentage points. So this state is relatively split with a left lean, but 90% of House members from Virginia being from one party?
90% of Virginians are not Democrats. That's true.
Correct.
But about 100% of Virginians want election results to be respected. We're deeply worried that Donald Trump will try to interfere with the election results this November or in 2028 because we saw him do it before. And we have to have a Congress that will stand up to it. In 2021, all 5 Republicans in Virginia went along with Donald Trump in his effort to overturn election results. And so we're giving Virginians a chance to vote, which Republican states have not done, about whether they want to have a congressional delegation that will stand up against Donald Trump's tyranny.
So one of the things that we need to understand is that's really great about this. By the way, it's nice to see 250 some odd people just in general pop, 126, 82 on Twitter, 34 on YouTube, 126 on X. And then got quite a few over in Rumble Land. Yeah, 50 plus. So we got 300 in network right now. I'll take that. I'll take that. So, folks, here's the deal. By the way, Olivia is now working on donations because Hayden's late. She's at her party. So if you haven't had a chance, folks, we don't do this for free. We need to stay online, and how we do that is we do it through donations. So your help to keep us free is important, and we don't ask for anything. If you can't donate, that's completely understandable. You can like, share, and subscribe. That helps. And what I mean by subscribe is just hit follow, right? Just do that. Hit the thumbs up button right now. We've got 300 people on. Help us out. We would appreciate it. But also $1, $5, $10, $100 goes a long way. The entire set you see here was actually created by the Donut Friendly Nation. These are the people who watch the show. And it's an amazing thing. We appreciate them so very much. And they do that because they know that most of the times we're right. Larry Hatfield, good to see Larry in house. Larry donated $20. Thanks, Larry. We appreciate you very, very much. Anyway, first time on the show. This is the Don't Unfriend Me set. We've got several co-hosts and a lot of people who come by. So do me a favor, go to thedumbshow.com. You can learn all about us, who we are. If it's your first time on the show, we completely understand. Maybe just sit back and watch, and then maybe next time you decide to go ahead and help the show out. Andrea, thank you, California. You should. California should be listening to this because we know Newsom's not going to stop. Let's get an update here on the election, see where we're at. Same. Let's do a refresh and see what we get. Looks like a 54-45. Looks like there's about one. Okay, there's the update. Oh, it's holding 41% in. Folks, I would pretty much, let me just double check. I would almost call this 94%. All right, let's see how many are out. You got 94%, 6% of the vote is out, only 86, 8.5, 8.13. So you're looking at 5%. So 10% would be 1,300, 800 votes. Nope, that ain't going to do it. The 76%, 62,000, 65,000. You got 25% left of 65. It's not enough. Prince William, you've got 67,000 and you've got about 50% in, so another 67,000 there, but you're not breaking. So here's the thing, is that these numbers still have votes out there, right? I mean, you got 13,000 votes here. You've got 25, this thing turning off is really pissing me off. You've got 25% of 65,000, so you're looking at 12, 24, 30,000 votes here. But the problem is this one's breaking really well, but this isn't. Loudoun County, this is a huge Democratic stronghold. It's where I live. I live in Loudoun. I'm right over here. And I'll tell you, the 60-40, that means the rural communities in Loudoun have all come out to play. This is a huge win. A 60-40, this is a loss for Loudoun. This is a massive loss. Stafford, this running 50-50. Chesterfield is a 50-50. This did not go to Trump. So this being in the red is a great sign. This blows me away. Virginia Beach is breaking 100% towards a no vote on this. So is Chesapeake. This right here is crazy. Roanoke, can't believe that. This is weird. Roanoke City and Roanoke are split. Roanoke City is fairly liberal, but I'm surprised to see that something's going on there. I think it's only 50% of the vote. I would see that this would probably be more of like a 45 to 48 to 52. Just hold on that. I think that number switches a little bit. This one is just too close to call. And then Rockingham is in a good spot. Warren's in a good spot. Yeah, let's go check Fox and see what they say. These swings are massive. And it's all good signs. Let's see what Fox is saying. Maybe they've called it. Nope, they haven't called it yet. So that's what we're waiting for. Folks, call-ins are on. If you had a question, please call in. It's right there in the lower right-hand corner. You can see it. It is 276-200-2105. You guys can call in if you want. Say hi. Tell me what you're thinking, all that type of stuff. We'll be happy to hear from you if you want to call in. Governor Youngkin deserves a lot of love and respect. Man, this guy has been busting his hump. And I'm a big fan of Youngkin. I really do like him quite a bit. And if the ticket is hurting in 2028 and Vance or Rubio aren't as popular and maybe Vance isn't polling like he should, I really think Youngkin's going to get in this race. He was going to do it in 2022, but DeSantis took it instead because Youngkin's he had a horrible midterm. His midterm sucked in Virginia. It was bad. We lost everything. So that kind of stalled him. But the billionaire class wants Youngkin. They want him bad. So, but I do too. I think he's a great candidate. I think he's a great guy. The way he treated my daughter was amazing. So here is a little bit on Youngkin, how active he is in Virginia.
And Youngkin joins me now. He has been very active in this fight, urging Virginians to vote no on this proposal from the Democrats. Governor, it's always good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. So this would make it 10-1, most likely. Republicans would be left with one small district in your home state of Virginia. You have a very good feel for your state. How's it going?
Martha, it's great to be with you. And listen, today is a critical election day in Virginia and for America. We've been pounding the pavement for the last many weeks, and what we're hearing and seeing is that urban voters are being outweighed by rural voters because rural voters are mad. They see that this
Kangaroo over on Rumble, it's good to see you, man. Said he likes the news so far, so that's good. We appreciate you. We're trying to grow on Rumble. It was slow going, but we've worked with the owners and tried to. They're putting us on the editor's choice once a week, which is really cool of them to do so. We're shocked. We weren't growing, so if you haven't had a chance to follow us, please do. It's weird. We've been sitting at like 1,900 followers, but every other channel we have grows except for that. So it's kind of strange. But welcome.
This illegal power grab is trying to disenfranchise millions and millions of voters. We're also hearing from independent voters that they feel that they have been lied to by Abigail Spanberger, who last summer said she had no interest in any kind of gerrymandering. And on top of that, most Virginians stand for fairness. And this is blatantly unfair. Even the Washington Post said it was the most brazenly dishonest campaign by the Yes campaign, and therefore the Washington Post has said that they believe no should prevail. But today is the day. We have got to get voters out and hear your voice before they erase it. And as you just reported, Virginians have a chance to truly make a statement. But I think it's more than just Republicans and Democrats. We had a constitutional amendment that was passed 6 years ago by 2/3 of Virginians to take the map drawing business away from politicians and from politics. And now you see Abigail Spanberger and her team trying to wrest control back away from the citizenry of Virginia and try to gerrymander it in the worst way possible. That constitutional amendment that we passed 6 years ago resulted in incredibly fair maps. Listen, I don't love them because there's 6 Democrats and 5 Republicans, but they represent Virginia. And now they are trying to change everything and have this massive power grab that is illegal, and they're doing it in a way that is dishonest, and Virginians aren't happy. But we must get the vote out. It's been an uphill.
You guys can see I've screen capped the window. I'm going to put this up here. I'll close the ad. Go over and buy something at the store, damn it. I got to close the ad. And donations are accepted, folks. We are definitely in need of it. Help us out. So far, Larry Hatfield has broken the seal. But you can see that 54% is in the negative now. And that's a positive. No is what we want on here. 781,664. Right now we have eclipsed almost 1.4 million. What now we have 7/8, almost 800 and 664. So almost 1.5 million people have voted so far. A little less than that, 1.4. 4.5 million people voted in the 2024 election. So I can't imagine there's probably another maybe 500,000, maybe less than that, 350,000 votes out there, maybe a little more. I got it a little bit off on 2024. More people showed up in the later hours, but right now this looks really good. Right now. We'll keep watching.
Battle, and that's why I'm encouraging everybody, get out and vote today and vote no.
Let's just pull this map up so people can get a look at it, because when I really drilled down on these, it's pretty shocking. One of these areas is called the Lobster District. Are we taking that full? Yeah. So you can see the blue, number 7, on the right-hand side. So what you see is that you've got areas, as Matt Whitlock said, people west of Shenandoah will be represented by an NGO consultant in Arlington, 3 hours away. It basically pulls all of the urban areas and gathers them into a wider spread, reaches down into the rural areas, and makes them part of an urban district, essentially. Correct?
Kevin Bernard donated $10. Thank you, Kev. I appreciate it. $30 where we're at. Thank you.
Yeah, that's correct. And anytime you have to name a district after an animal, you know it's been gerrymandered. And if you look to the new congressional District 8, it stretches all the way from Northern Virginia down into Hampton Roads. What you've seen is a map that was literally drawn by folks that were drunk with power. And it's time for us to stand up as Virginians and say, no, we're not going to be led down this road of disenfranchising millions of Virginians. We're going to stand by the constitutional amendment that we passed overwhelmingly 6 years ago. But finally, we are going to stand for the same principles that this great country was founded on 250 years ago, right here in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Well, turnout looks to be very high. It's almost as high.
Robert Petrowski donated $17.76. Thanks for doing this. It's my pleasure. I love doing it. Thank you for allowing us to do it. Without you guys and donating, we wouldn't be doing this. This is our job. This is what we do. So we appreciate you.
As it was in the governor's race. Do you think that's a good sign for your side or not?
I think it's a good sign because the turnout has been high in the red districts and in the rural counties, and it's been a bit lower in our urban districts. But with that said, we just need everyone to come out and vote, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, and take hold of this and vote no. No is for fairness. No is for the right maps that have been designed the right way. And no is to push back against this blatant grab of power by progressive lefts in Richmond.
Well, we'll see. They said,
Joseph Hillstrom donated $10.80, throwing you a little cash. Why not? Appreciate you, Joseph. Thanks, buddy. 58.56 towards our goal. $300 is what we're looking for tonight. Thank you.
Started with the Republicans in Texas, and it's just going to keep going this way. We'll see where it goes. We're looking forward to hearing this vote. We'd love to hear more from you as well. And
so, listen, I'm under delusions here that Texas has a right to redistrict. They have a right to redistrict. Every state has a right to redistrict. But there is a difference between redistricting based on political affiliation, which is legal, and demographics. Anyone that sees the Lobster District knows exactly what's happening. They are pulling black neighborhoods into rural areas. This is what they did in Texas. And if you looked at the districts in Texas, it was very similar to this. Very, very similar. Right now, the vote is showing that this is, it's going well. There's a little bit of fluctuation. It's at a 53.5, 46.5 right now, about 9%. That's a huge win. The fact that we're this early in the race and we're already up 9, that's a good indicator that Democrats are running from behind. Remember, Democrats have been early voting, so all those early votes are already in. So now this is all about votes of today, right? So, and as we know, votes of today are predominantly going to be Republican. I think my daughter's home. Get out of the car, Hayden. Hurry up. Hayden. My child. So, sorry, folks. We're a real show. Let's go ahead and go into the map again. Chesterfield, 58% of the votes in. I'm not surprised with Chesterfield. I want to go back to this and look. This is weird. Roanoke City. Yes, I know it's a large delta, 20%. It's just weird to see that. I didn't expect it to be so large, but that's not really going to matter. What's going to matter is all of these massive red reports that are coming in, and it's extensive. Keene William, holy crap. Gloucester is Colonial Heights, everything. Okay, so Norfolk's coming in, but Norfolk's 96% in, and that's going to go heavy. Okay, Virginia Beach finally flipped. I expected this. I knew something was wrong. I told you something was wrong in V Beach. You see this? Remember, it was just the other way. But now V Beach is actually coming in. Yes, I expect this to continue. V Beach is completely a Democratic stronghold. Everyone's like, oh, no, it's Republican. No, it's not. Well, there's a lot of military there. Yeah, there's a lot of military in Norfolk, too, and it's not. Hayden, do me a favor. Take care of the dog. She's been out for way too long. Would you mind making my shake, please? Love you. Thank you. So Virginia Beach is flipping back towards yes. That's what I expected. Elaine says Texas didn't blow it out of the water. We were fair. Were you talking to me? Because I don't know if I said that. I did. That's not what I meant if I said it. Or are you talking about the video? Because I completely support what Texas did. It wasn't racial gerrymandering. What I mean blow it out of the water is that if I did say that, and I very well could have, is they blew the maps up from what Democrats had, which were already gerrymandered districts. If you take a look down at lower central Texas, past Dallas, that giant district that went across 1/5 of Texas. Yeah, I'm not a fan of what they did in Texas, and I think they had every right to do it. Not a fan of what the Democrats did to gerrymander Texas. I'm fine with what they did. I think it was based upon political affiliation, not based on color or demographics, which makes it constitutional. Anyone that looks at this map knows the eastern side of Virginia is elites and African-American population. That's the truth. Or Arabs. There's a lot of Arabs. So this stronghold here, this is what they rely on. Loudoun still coming at 60-40. That's what's killing them. That's what's hurting them. A lot of these are coming in now. So you're going to see it tighten. This is going to tighten. It's going to tighten. But you're also 70,000 votes right now. So 70,000 votes. Are there 70,000 votes out there? Well, let's do the math, right? Okay. So right here, you got 94%. 6% of this is available, right? So 10% of 130,000 is 13,000, but it's only 6%. So you want to take that by 7. So there's 7,000 votes here. You've got 60, 75,000. You've got about 15% here. So that's 7. That's 10,000 votes here. You've got 8 and 5, 130. Same thing as up here in Loudoun. About the same thing. So another, 7,000 votes here. So right now we're at 7, 7's 14, 10 is 24. Okay. Now we're going to come over here. 89%. This is chump change. Just say 2,000 votes here. For 80,000, it's 58% in. So you got 40,000 votes here, but it's breaking 50-50. So it's only a 7-point bump. So out of that 40,000 votes, they're going to get, it's going to be a wash. It's going to be like 3,000, 4,000 plus. Down in Vaugh Beach, okay, this is the same thing, 80%. But look at it's a break even. There's no gain here. It's -2, +2. Who cares? Norfolk, 71, 98% in. There's no help here. There's no help in Portsmouth. It's 99% in. Chesterfield, there's no help here. 22%, little help here. This is a good ass kicking, but you're not going to make up 70,000 votes. I don't think there's enough votes out there. And look at this. Reporting, 98%, okay? 88. 98. See, this is all these westerns are in. This is where it gets a little dicey. Okay, 47% in Roanoke. 78%. 98. All right, so let's go look at the big dogs. This one isn't going to be a huge lift because it's a small. If this keeps breaking Republican, which it is, it's ticking up. It's now 3% Republican. That's good. Spotsylvania is halfway in. That's going to be a huge win. That's 20%. Look at these reds. These reds are not all in. This is a big one. 71% Rockingham. 46% in Shenandoah. 50% in Frederick. I don't think there's. This looks really good. I think they're going to keep creeping right now because a lot of these other votes, but I don't think there's enough. I think Republicans are really doing well. Let's see. It looks tight. I do see this tightening a little bit. Larry, just type your question or call. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Yes, I'm taking calls. Phone number's there. Lower right-hand corner. It's going to tighten. There's no doubt about it. But, it's went from a 52.6 to a 47.4. So now you're at 92,000 votes, right? So 48,000. And so you got 44,000 on the south side and then 48,000 on the north side. So that is 92,000 votes. So right now we're 92,000 votes ahead. The higher this goes, the more these percentages matter. Now you're almost 100,000, right? So now you're at 93,000. So you want more votes is good, and then the percentage to stay. So you guys got to understand, now we're going to see some tightening because a lot of these are closing up, and now the votes that you're going to see are going to be 0.5% one way or 0.5%. The big dogs are all in. Now it's just watching this. I'm just curious, Matt, what are the two counties at the bottom center left, larger reddish circle with a smaller bluish circle? You talking about this one? Yeah, so these are three counties here. You have Roanoke City, and Salem. This is here. If you're talking about right here, this is the military corridor. So you got Chesapeake Bay, you've got Virginia Beach, you've got Norfolk, and you've got Portsmouth. Hey, honey, thank you. You look very pretty tonight. I like that dress. Give it back to your mom. She's going to be mad if you don't. Curious, what are the two counties at the bottom center? Bottom center, left, larger reddish circle with small bluish circle. I think it would be this one, right? Oh, this one? Yeah, you can't see it. I'll try to blow this up. You've got a district line right here, right down the middle. So this is one district, this is the other. Make sense? I think that's what you're talking about. Let me know if it is. No votes wins. No, lower bottom of the state. Here and here. I will just tell you this. You can't see the district lines, but there are district lines here. Oh, no, I was talking about the New Virginia map that looks so unfair, and I feel Spamberger blew it out of the water. Oh, okay. Sorry, Elaine. I didn't know what you were saying. It's hard to keep up. How will this matter outside of the state of Virginia vote goes to popular vote? How will this matter outside of state of Virginia vote goes? Well, it matters because in a federal election, we don't base it off the popular vote. So what it's saying is that the electoral college doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that whoever wins the national popular vote, their electoral votes go to. It doesn't matter what happens in the state of Virginia. So let me try to say that again. The popular vote for the national election, whoever wins that will get Virginia's electoral votes. It's essentially stripping the electoral college of its importance. And if that happens, Democrats are going to do that all over the country. So that's a big thing right there. And that sucks. Nobody wants the popular vote because California and New York are going to decide our elections every year. So the second thing is that if Democrats get green light approval in Virginia, which is a fairly purple state, surprisingly enough, even though we got our asses kicked in 2024, that means they can do it across the country. So this is asking for forgiveness, no permission necessary. Once they do this, they're going to do this across the country. If they get shellacked tonight and shut down, I don't think they're going to get shellacked, but I do think they're going to get shut down. It looks good. But once again, not everything's in. So we're going to know a lot more in the next 15, 20 minutes. I'll tell you that much. Thank you, love. Here, just throw that one up there. You didn't make my other one, did you? Don't worry about it. I'll just do this. What's up? Oh. Was it fun? Good. Well, you look pretty. Love you. Okay. Latest numbers. I'm going to minimize this a little bit. Then we got some more videos for you. Folks, donation lines are open. 8856 is where we're at. It's been an interesting week, so would appreciate it and I know it's only Tuesday, but it's been an interesting week. We're looking for 300. That's our goal tonight, and would appreciate it. Donald Thompson donated $30. Donald, did I not see that? I'm very sorry. That was rude of me. I apologize. I'm getting preoccupied because I'm not watching the screen. When you put in a donation, will you let me know? I didn't see it. I apologize. So, Donald, thank you so much for the $30. Once again, 52.2, 47.8. We're about ready to clip 1 million. And they've tightened the gap. It's now at 85,000 votes. So there is some narrowing here. There's some tightening here. Should see another update here in probably a minute or two. We'll continue to watch. Going after some other news since we've got so many people on. there is the Southern Poverty Law Center. Did I see the wording on the ballot? I sure did. Yep. This is the first thing I said to Olivia, and these are my exact words to answer your question. Did I see the wording on the ballot? Olivia did her ballot. I did my ballot. As we were walking to scan it, I looked over at Olivia and I said, "Did you read the wording on the ballot?" And she goes, "Yep." She goes, "Did you?" And I said, "Yep." And I said, "Fucking liberals." Pardon my French. I was pissed. The poll worker laughed. It's crazy. It's absolutely insanity. And reading it and saying it's a temporary measure and it's going to revert. But see, that's the trickery. And these they're designed to fool the public. So you are in a state of propaganda and trying to deceive. You're trying to deceive. How can you get away with that? How can anyone? I mean, I've said it, guys. I'm done. I'm done with voting. Like, let's take it to the next level. You know, I'm done. I really am. I just, like I said the other night, and I hate to say it, I find myself less and less concerned with the safety of our politicians. At this point, I just don't even care. I'm not going to do anything wrong. I'm not going to do anything violent, but I keep hearing, we can't have violence. Violence isn't the answer. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. It worked in 1776. And I want some accountability. And if we don't get it from the Department of Justice and they don't arrest some of these people for what they've done, and we can go back to Hillary Clinton, we can go back to the election, we can go back to embezzlement, we can go back to Hunter Biden, we go back to the news media covering up, lying at COVID with us, censoring us, shutting us down, telling parents that they don't have a right to know what their kids are learning and not learning, putting us in masks, forcing vaccines on us, the ungodly amount of taxes, the national debt, all this shit. At this point, I'm just kind of like, dude, talking ain't going to work anymore. Voting isn't going to work anymore. It's like, go read the Constitution. Read what happens when the Constitution becomes ineffective and the people no longer have representation. Am I calling for violence? No, I'm not calling for violence. What I'm saying is that monumental change that takes place throughout the world has always been done through violence. I'm sorry. It's always been violence. And it may not be violence in retort, right? You look at the civil rights movement, it was fairly peaceful, fairly benign, but the violence that took place against those people was incredible. It's still instigated change. And in 1776, how much abuse did we have to take before we rose up against King George? Take a look at Tiananmen Square. How much violence did they have to take? Look at the Uyghurs in China. When are they going to rise up? Look at the Christians in Syria. When are they going to rise up? So I don't understand why people go, well, it's sedition when you talk like, really? Well, you think so? Because you know what's seditious to me? These fucking governors and senators going over to Spain, which will not support us and allow to use our U.S. bases for strikes against Iran, and go and talk disparagingly about the United States of America and call Trump a freaking war criminal. That's treason. Can you fucking imagine? I'm mad tonight. I'm going to cuss. I'm sorry. I'm going to cuss. Can you fucking imagine if Christoph or McNamara or any of the administration from Kennedy to Eisenhower went over to Italy and started speaking ill of Eisenhower or Kennedy? The moment they got off the plane, they would be in handcuffs and they would be black bagged and put in Leavenworth. But you have people on X and Twitter talking about Iran gets 26 boats through by illegal means, and you've got Murphy saying awesome. This is a sitting senator. How's that not seditious? So don't sit here and tell me that some podcaster in Virginia who lives in the middle of the sticks, who is just sick and tired and getting to the old age, and he's, scratching the silver age, and my golden years are coming, that I'm just a little sick and fucking tired of politicians. And I'm sick of the no account. The way that they treat their constituents, the way that they treat us. I'm sick of these people. I'm sick and tired of them. And I told it to Olivia. I said, listen, I don't condone violence. I don't want anyone going out and hurting anybody, but I'm less and less concerned when someone goes, oh, well, Rand Paul's neighbor beat him up and attacked him. Oh, okay. Nancy Pelosi's husband got hit with a hammer. Okay. Well, sorry. You know, and I don't think it was okay what happened to Steve Scalise. I think that was wrong. I think it's horrible. I don't think anyone should be, you know, shot and killed and assassinated. That's not my thing. I don't like that. I'm a very, very big fan of the John F. Kennedy assassination because I like to learn about it, but it's also because I thought it was one of the most tragic times in our nation's history, and we've gone downhill since then. I don't want that, but I'm not concerned about it if it happens. I'm just not going to be upset. I'm not going to, I'm going to lower my flags to half staff because somebody decided to go ahead and do something really stupid and really crazy. I'm not going to pretend like, well, maybe if Island Omar gets deported or thrown in jail, you think I'm going to weep? No, I'm going to celebrate. I'm like, this is a great call. When Matt Gaetz resigned, I was like, great. When Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned, I was like, outstanding. When Swalwell finally got his, I'm like, wonderful. I'm sorry. Are you not just a little bit happy that these people are gone? I am. Miss Sherry Starr, what do you want to talk about?
And sorry to interrupt your rant, but I just wanted to let you know how very much I appreciate your show and everything that you discuss and the way that you interact and engage with call-ins and the chat and questions and encouraging critical thinking and defending the Constitution. And I just want you to know how appreciated you are.
Well, I thank you for that, and I really am glad you called in too. It's great to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this? This is craziness. Like I'm not a violent person. I don't believe that, but I have a militaristic mindset, and when there's a problem, you go after it. That's what you do. And right now we're seeing systematically. Right now, the vote is, if you haven't seen it, 1.7 million or 1.0. 1,071,970 to 1,011,011. It's now down to 3%. 3%. This close, Sherry. Your thoughts on this and what do you think is going to happen? Because right now these numbers are tightening even more, and it's going to go down to the wire, it looks like.
Well, I remember a week before the presidential election last, and I asked God, how do you want me to pray for our country and our election? And God told me, pray for one nation under me, one nation under God. And that's how I prayed. And the election came out well. We are a republic that needs to, I put in the comments that a famous quote of mine is, an armed society is a polite society.
Amen.
And I believe also that a republic that's pissed off is going to be heard and heard loudly. And we have to stand up and not be apathetic.
Mm. Yeah, suicidal empathy, right? I mean that's apathy, and we are killing our country because we are so concerned with hurting people's feelings, and we're going to get to the point where we're going to have to. I hate to say this, but this is the truth: is physical harm is going to have to go ahead and be the remedy because people don't want their feelings hurt, and because if you think that the whole country is just going to sit here and continue to allow these things to happen, they won't. And we know that because it's in our blood. But all you got to do is look at France. All you have to do is look at China. All you have to do is look at Bosnia-Herzegovina. All you have to do is look at the Philippines. Every single major country throughout history that's established today, that was once an empire, is no longer there. They're all gone. And the reason why they're all gone is because eventually the people said, enough. We're sick of the Romans. We're sick of the Greeks. We're sick of the English. We're sick of the Japanese. We're sick of the Russians. We're sick of the Mongolians. And someday they're going to say we're sick of the Americans. And we have a choice to make, whether we allow some foreign nation to come into our country and destroy it from within, or are we going to stand up and not do anything when you have elected officials who are destroying it who are supposed to be Americans. And I don't understand it. I don't understand how this works. I don't understand why we don't do anything. I don't understand why somebody doesn't do something. I thought Trump was going to be that guy, but I don't have a lot of hope at this point. Do you still have faith that Donald Trump's going to do something?
I do. And, I attended the movie A Great Awakening this last week, and it was a reminder why we came and why the United States of America was founded. We were escaping from the tyranny of the countries that we came from. And that movie, A Great Awakening, reminded those that attended it that why we came here, why we stood against England, why we fought for our independence. And we have to be awakened. And if it comes from the godly reviling that happens in our country that needs to awaken where our freedom comes from, then that's where it'll have to come from. But we have to speak up, and we have to speak forth for our continued freedoms, and not to become like those countries that refuse to come and defend NATO in areas of the Middle East. They're showing their true colors, and we can do it without them. But like President Trump said, we will remember what you did or did not do.
It's an interesting point. I was thinking about why they go after religion, whether it's socialism, communism, the progressive elite, the socialist Democrats, democratic socialism that we have now, whatever, you put lipstick on a pig, it's still communism and socialism, is why they go after religion. And you have to look at it and go back all the way to Nietzsche, and you have to go back to Da Vinci and go back to when the Catholic Church was really challenging the scientific community, and Michelangelo and artists and poets and everybody else. And there was this massive nihilistic push, which really challenged the greater morality and the greater good, saying that there really is no greater good. That morality,
I believe that they're trying to destroy hope.
Well, right, but more importantly, it's not even hope. And finishing this thought is, if there is no greater good, then there is no moral good. There is no morality. And where do we find morality in Western civilization? It's through God, Christian,
absolutely,
Christian Judeo ethics, and we find our morality through God. And if they disprove God and repudiate God, well, then there's no longer anything immoral about their actions. And if they can even take it a step further, and then when they question God and then say there's really no moral justification not to label Trump a Nazi and all of his followers a Nazi, because they are Nazis, and if you don't, you're going to have another Hitler. They justify their immoral behavior with creating new language and assigning monikers to people that are based in some truths. And this is the problem. If you take a look at Donald Trump, there are similarities to fascist leaders that he possesses, just like most people have similarities with psychopaths and narcissists. If you look at the qualifying characteristics of a psychopath, there's like 12 or 13 different characteristics. Most human beings have 4, 5, 6 of these things, but it's the other 7 and 8 that turns that person into a bona fide psychopath or a bona fide fascist. And so even though he may have some magnetic personality and charisma, although he does repudiate the media and hates the media, and he does speak ill of anyone who disagrees with him and demands loyalty, those are all things that a fascist leader would look for. He doesn't have the other things like tyrannical rule, imperialism, jailing his opponents, assassinating fellow political leaders, usurping the state's ability to defend themselves, removing religion. That's what the Democrats are doing.
So, and President Trump has actually come up against the Pope and the Iran leadership, and doing those both at the same time speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And he actually was calling on the Iran leadership to release those that were scheduled to be executed.
Yeah.
as part of the agreement, and I stand up for that because no one else is.
Yeah, well, you and me both, sister. I'm at this point, I'm in it with Trump, and when he does things that I don't like, I call those things out. Somebody asked me today, they said, "Oh yeah, you got a problem with Donald Trump? I've never seen you say anything." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Let's just go through the list. Like J6, stolen election, vaccines." I wasn't a big fan of his tariffs when they first started. I didn't like his choice for a lot of his administration. I didn't agree with Tulsi Gabbard. I certainly didn't agree with Noam. I didn't agree with Matt Gaetz. I thought these were horrible choices and horrible decisions. I didn't like his Herschel Walker pick. I didn't like his R.J. Majewski pick. I didn't like Dr. Mohammed Oz. I didn't like him backing Kari Lake. You know, I've called Trump out on plenty of shit. But even though I can do that with my wife. I can do that with my mom. I can point out, inequity, but I can also say the greater good is represented in those two people. At least they were for most of my life, and though I don't like my mom very much, and say that the good outweighed the bad for the most part. And in Olivia's case, the good triumphantly outweighs the bad.
Yes.
But you can still do wrong. There's things that I do that probably piss you off. And there's times where I've said something that you're like, I don't like that, but you've got to weigh the greater good versus the fundamentally infrequent bad. Right?
I agree. And Trump has learned from his first term to his second term. He's made adjustments and he makes decisions, right, wrong, or indifferent, and he stands by them. Sometimes he'll stand back and be introspect. But he has learned between his first term and his second term decisions that he's made and things that did not result with good results. So I do believe that he is a president for such time as this. And I totally believe in the last days of the end times that we're honored to be alive, to be able to witness the things that are happening. That's my faith speaking. But I appreciate, that you do put things out there. You ask people difficult questions, difficult things to ponder, stepping outside of their comfort zone to hear another perspective. And yeah, we've butted heads before, but for the greater good. And I've seen changes in you and changes in me over the last year.
Yep.
For the better.
Totally.
And
keep
going.
I've went through a chrysalis, if you will, and the person I was when we first started. It's trying to find yourself, right? And we all have insecurities. We all have things that we don't do well. And my first 4.5 years of this show was combative with my listeners at times because I felt like I needed to. I needed to force trauma for them to understand how they were being fooled and manipulated, but I couldn't break free because I didn't build the relationship with them required in order to do that at times. And I lost good people because of it. And I'm aware of it. However, like you said, the greater good is a huge, important part of this show. And you got to weigh the good with the bad. So I thank you for recognizing it. I recognize it myself. I'm much happier with this show, and I'm able to balance more, I think, now than I have. So I appreciate you. It's a lot of work, and we're going to do better and keep growing, Well,
keep doing what you're doing. And I want to tell you that I have a relatively low level of sphere of influence in my life, but I do have people that look to me for a leadership role. And friends, and they look at me and they'll notice that I have a trend of scheduling out a couple hours every night. And they ask me, gee, what are you doing? Right. And it's like, I tell them about your show and aspects of the show that are greatly appealing to me. And they want to know more. And I love that you include Olivia and Hayden and Ethan and even Ash and Yenny. Yeah. And it's a family show, but you discuss very serious topics but they want to know, where am I investing my time in? And I tell them about your show, and they're going to reach out and experience that for themselves. So I just want to let you know that, even though some of us may think that our sphere of influence is limited, in God's kingdom, it's really unlimited. So, the
Wow.
person that I share it with will share it with someone else, and that just blossoms from there. So keep doing what you're doing. I am so happy for your show.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you sharing. Great call. And we're only at 1% now. So this is tightened, and it's going to go down to a bare knuckle drag out fight. I'm a little concerned now. This isn't good. A late push by them. Remember what I said, at the 50% mark, being where we were was beautiful. But remember, all those red districts started coming in. I'm going to check a pulse on the map and give you guys a good idea. But right now, this doesn't look good right now. But let me let you go. And thank you for calling. I really appreciate your call. It was a great one. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye. So let's get into it. Larry says, I don't know about anyone else, but I've never seen Matt combative towards anyone. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a lie. That's a bald-faced lie. You're a lion, dog-faced pony soldier. Let's get to it. Folks, donations, 88.56. We're at a standstill. We've got 30 minutes, and I really, really want to try to hit it. So let's see if we can help out the show. If you haven't had a chance to donate, please do. Desperately need some help from you to hit goal 300 tonight. So if you would not mind, please, and let's get into it. We've got some more things to do. Taking a look at this screen share. Now it's coming back up. This is what I'm thinking, guys. I think it's going to hit about 75%, and we're going to start seeing uptick. If I know this state and I know this electoral map and district map, 92%. See, this is the problem. You still got 5% out and loud. And this is a massive. Now it comes down to contrition. Fairfax is only 29%, and this is not good. This is flipped. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. No, 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 no. I don't think we're going to have enough. Too many 90s. Too many 90s. Too many 90s. Okay, Southampton's too small. There's nothing big left. This doesn't look good, folks. All right, let me tell you why this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. Here's why. 95% of the vote, 5% is there, right? So you've got 87,000. So let's just say 90 and 56, 55. That's 145,000. Take that by 5%. That's 14,000. That's 7,200 votes right here. Most of those. Now, this isn't that bad, right? Because it's a 60-40 split. So about 2,500 votes will go towards Democrats. But this is where it kills. You got a 30 split here. 72-28 with only 29% of the votes out. Folks, that's fucking bad news. That's really fucking bad news. This is bad news. Fairfax, slow rolled. I didn't see it. But right here, you got 110,000 votes at 29%. So 25% would be like what, 90,000? So you still got 270,000 votes out there, and we're getting our butts kicked at 730. There's nothing to make up for that. There's nothing left. I think this is going to pass. I think we're fucked. I think Fairfax is going to kill us. If this was in, I would be like, we have a chance, but we don't have anything to counteract it. Look at this, 97% in, 52%, but that's nothing. They're small votes. 73%, 98%. That's 200,000 some odd votes still out in Fairfax. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. I'm trying to see what they're saying on the news. Of course, the news isn't even here. That's not a good sign, because if it was a win, they'd be talking about it.
And then someone comes and tries to do exactly what people have said for half a century, and he's bad, he's wrong, and will carry Iranian talking points. The politicians.
Yeah. It don't look good, folks. Look at how many votes now. Almost 2.3 million. That's a lot. And only 74% of the votes counted. Oof. Folks, that means there's another. Okay, so let me do the math. So 1.3, we're just going to say 2.3 million. 10% is 230,000 votes. Another 10% is 460,000 votes. And then 5% would be 100. You got 500,000 votes still out there. Most of them are in fucking Fairfax. You got some in Arlington's only 92% in. And we're going to lose it in Fairfax. And if Fairfax doesn't get better and go the way of Loudoun, we're in serious trouble. Chesterfield, 62-30. We're just not winning enough of these cities. Okay, so Virginia Beach, they took back over, but Virginia Beach, look at the numbers. Look how close it is in Vaughan Beach. Oh, boys and girls, this doesn't look good. 90% down here, 45%, that's better. 98%. I just don't see where we have the votes. I'm looking and I'm not seeing it. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't think I am. I don't think I'm missing anything. There's not enough votes. Fairfax. This is their ace. Why is Fairfax slow rolling their votes, guys? Why? This is one of the most dirty fucking counties in Virginia. Go figure that Fairfax is the one that'd be slow rolling. Living Pager says 500K. That's what I said. 500,000. Yeah. Guys, there is no second shift. Polls have been closed for an hour and 33 minutes. They closed at 7 o'clock. This is it. All the votes are in. Now they're counting. I don't think so, guys. I think Fairfax is going to kill us. The fact that they're at 29% is just such bullshit. Hey, Liv. Anonymous donated $100. Thank you. I missed it. I was watching the map. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We need it. We need it. We're going to need it even more. I don't think we're going to win this. I think it's going to pass. I think it's going to pass. I think it's going to fucking pass. Fairfax is good. Yeah. Like, it was looking really good, but then I missed Fairfax. Fairfax is only 29% in. We've got 500,000 votes out there, and I don't see where they're coming from. Where are you going? I was talking to you. No, I'm talking to you, beautiful. So 81. So that's 110,000, 111,000. So if we do and it would be what, 74%? No. Times. Wait. If all right, let's see. Oh, 426,000. The total is 100%. So 320. Oh, wait. There'll be 325,000 votes are just in Fairfax alone. This thing's over. It's over. There's no way. 500,000 votes are left. 326,000 are in Fairfax. I don't think so. Because look, right here, 92%. 8% is out. 7%'s out. 4%'s out. 5%'s out. And then you've got 70% out in Fairfax, which means 325,000 votes. And it's a 7-3 split. So what you need to do is a 7-3 split is 325,000, right? You need to take 70% of 325,000. which is 210,000 votes will go to the Democrats. Oh, we got a donation. I can't see it. What was it? You didn't tell me. What was the donation? You got to tell me. I'm working here. $21.10 anonymous. Thank you. Please tell me from now on. I can't see it. I'm watching the map. $209.66. Thank you. So you got another 200,000 votes going in the column of the Democrats. Look at this. But there's only 1.2. There's 200,000. So basically, you've got 2 million. It's basically 2.4 million votes are in play right now. And 10% is going to go to the Democrats of those votes. So that's 200,000, 240,000 plus are going to go in the Democrat column out of the 322. That means out of that 322, Republicans are going to get about 90,000 votes. Yeah, it's over. Because they've only got a 23,000 vote lead right now, folks. I don't think it's it. Yeah, midterms are going to suck. Yeah. If we lose this, it's over. Like midterms are, like I've been telling you, the midterms aren't going to be good. This is just bad news all the way around. I don't know what else to say. It's just shit. It sucks. I'm not saying it's over. 76% of the votes are counted. What are the chances the court's overturning the results of the lip? 0, in my opinion. You're going to get a federal court, but they just gave Texas theirs back. So I think the Supreme Court is going to have to stand by their own precedent, which was they're going to have to make it stand unless they want to go. Look at this. This right here. Yeah, and Meta owes me a shit ton of money on a video that they're not giving me, and they just keep giving me the runaround. Oh, yeah, it's just a week. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. I hate Meta. I can't stand them. Can't stand them. I got to take care of this. Olivia. Can you please go through all the Meta support emails where I've sent this in a million times asking to get paid on this, and I answered a bunch of their questions. Can you find that email for me? And Carbon, send it to me, please. I need some help. Thanks. What are the chances of the courts overturning this? Like I said, I don't imagine it's going to be good. Listen, I might be missing something. But right now, it's going to be a slow trickle. It's 22,000 votes. It's 50.4 to 49.6. And it's going to be in a recall status. The Democrats are going to fight this. Yeah, they owe me, for the first time, I don't even know how long. I think I have a video that's going to pay me like $500, and they won't give it to me. Somebody copyright claimed it, and then I won the copyright claim, and now the money's not there. And they just keep saying the same thing. What tool are you talking about? What tool are you talking about? I'm not talking about a tool. I'm talking about my money's not approved, and I can't get it, and they don't understand what I'm talking about. I've explained it 75 times over and over and over and over, and I can't get them to understand. So. Can we ever debate or have a conversation with a liberal without violence? A legitimate question. I don't know. At this point, I'm just worried for my family. I'm worried about my home. Yeah, folks, donations are at 209.66. Donor Friendly Show needs some help. Would appreciate it if you would not mind. I'm going to go ahead and play the money commercial because we need to at this point. We've got to hit goal, and I need some help. So we're going to put this in here real quick. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations, but after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel: you.
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, their son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more effective it is.
You tighten it so frickin' I can't do it. I can't untighten it.
That's what she said.
That's what she's. Oof. Oof. Coming in with it. Pound it. Pound it. Pound it.
Child gets 15.
Ethan, you look like a hippie.
Told the tubular.
You know this is recording, right?
Okay, let's go. Smile. Donate. Don't start with me. Donations. Every time you don't smile, I'm going to punch you in the ribs. Donations. Take one. Scene one. Ready. Set. Ethan.
Break.
Ready. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Ethan, don't mess this up. Ready. Set. Action. No. Whoa. Director calls action, not some stupid toddler.
But we've built something
There's no but there. Why do you've been doing this since you were 2 years old. Try it again.
Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
He's so much better than you at everything.
He's better at
Hayden, he's just like, even, it's just, go ahead, Hayden.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored.
That's a wrap. Well done, Spear family. I bet we make no money.
But I'm gonna owe them money without.
Hayden, do your thing again.
Oh yeah, cut it.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo.
All right, folks, appreciate it. Sorry, I had to take care of that stupid Facebook email, and I've sent 47 emails, and they keep coming back. What tool are you talking about? What tool are you talking? And I'm like, I literally take a picture of the video. How many? This is what it is. Just so you guys understand, this is what they do to me all the time. So look at this video. Look at the size of it. It's got 2.3 million views. 2.3 million. Liberty and other guys who are content providers will tell you, and they've given me no money on it. Zero. So a copyright claim came in on it, and then it lost. It got killed. Angela Hills donated $25 trying to get you closer. Thank you, Angela. We need all the help we get tonight. So like a 2.3 million video, that's probably $500, $700. And that's a lot. And we don't get a lot from Facebook anymore. It's barely any, because they constantly do this shit to us. So somebody put a copyright claim and they said, we're going to put this in a temporary status until the copyright claim settled. Well, it's been settled for a week. We won in 24 hours and it's frivolous. And they won't get, now they're like, what are you talking about? What tool do you want? What do you mean, what tool do I want? I'm showing you that this video has not made the revenue. What are you fucking talking about? Whatever the video revenue is. I don't know the name of it. It's a reel. There should be monetization for it, but I don't know. Matt, if this does go through, it does set precedents. What would be the outcome if all the red states did the same? They're not going to do it. They don't have they're cowards. Republicans won't do the same thing. They're cowards. So it's a moot point. Oklahoma is one of the reddest states there is, and they couldn't get it to go. Nobody will. Nobody will do it. They don't care. They're feckless cowards. They're just gonna, okay, we'll play opposition party. We're gonna make our money. We can have our fundraisers. Yeah, we tried. Whatever. They don't care. It's just the way it is. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Right now, votes are 1.286 million. 50.3, it's 0.6%. And of course, Fox News isn't covering this. Why? Nobody's going to cover this. You want to know why? Because they're afraid. Instead of showing this and saying, hey,
and that's what this is about.
This is the problem. This is where we're at. This is what we've allowed to happen in Virginia. Instead of showing that, they're probably playing some stupid bullshit Jesse Waters thing. Fairfax is now 50% in. Okay, so now hold on a second. Now this is interesting. It's less than I thought. You see? 138,000. That's predicted 500,000 votes are out there, but that's a lot less. So now it's too close to call, guys. It's going to go down the wire. It's a matter of, do they have enough blue? See, look at Loudon is still, it's like Loudon's hanging on. Where's the other 5%? Loudon's been closed for 2 hours. Where is it? Where's the rest? Where's the rest? It doesn't look good. Oh, yeah, Riley. I know. You know me. I'm not saying it looks good at all. It doesn't. This right here is why we lost in 2024. It's going to be why we lost again. Virginia Beach actually wound up. Yeah, it's too close. If we lose the midterms, how soon will Trump be impeached? Immediately. They're going to impeach Trump. Oh, yeah. They're going to put him in jail this time. And Republican senators will make it happen. Have they counted Richmond yet? Oh, yeah. Richmond's over. My mouse is freaking out. This is insane. $96 million. Something's got to change. Yeah, Henrico. Richmond City, 59%. Yeah, that's right there. Look at that. That's going to make a difference too. Chesterfield. Yeah, this is over. There's no way. There's no way. There's not enough votes out here. There's just not enough left. There's no big red areas left. And they're I don't see it. I don't see it. If some of these were at 70%, but this is what happened in 2024. You just look at that. Look at that. 4% of the vote still out. Getting shellacked. 51% counted. It's going to flip any minute. It's going to flip any minute. 0.6%. Listen, I wish I had some good news for you folks. I'm going to show you the Poverty Law Center. This is actually interesting. Let's get into the regular parts of the show. We'll continue to watch this.
In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least.
AP just called it? Yeah. Brenna, I'm assuming they called it as yes one, right? I called it. I was really comfortable at the beginning. And then I missed Fairfax. And once I saw Fairfax, I was like, oh yeah, we're fucked. Brenna, AP just called it. Did they call it in favor of Virginia is going to be the new California? No, Virginia is California. It's going to be worse. We're in deep shit. Like, we are in deep shit. This is bad. Yes, 50.3. Yeah, it's over. I'm so disappointed in Virginia. So disappointed. I'm looking for it. Where did you see it, Brenna? I don't see where they called it. Where did they call it? Folks, we are yeah, I'm waiting to see. Somebody said the AP called it. Brenna said it. And I'm not surprised. They should call it because there's no way. But I'm not seeing Virginia election results. Here we go. Yep, it's over. Yep, it's over. Live. Folks, pray for Virginia. We're going to need it. It's over. We lost. It's over. That's it. Folks, I am leaving. I am 8 minutes. I'm leaving. We need to hit goal. We need all the help we can get. If you love the show in any way, shape, or form, enjoy watching the show. If you appreciate the show, I really want to leave on time tonight. Here's Poverty Law Center. Let's get some of the news.
These individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan, United Klans of America, National Socialist Movement, Aryan Nations affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club.
This is money that the Southern Poverty Law Center has decided to give money and proceeds to. This is ridiculous.
Nationalist Socialist Party of America, Nazis, and the American Front. Now, as the indictment lays out, after SPLC paid members of these extremist groups, it created work product that reported on these activities that the members participated in or contributed to. And to that end, it was doing the exact opposite of what it's told its donors it was doing. Not dismantling extremism, but funding it. To carry out this scheme, SPLC created bank accounts in the name of at least 5 completely fictitious organizations that had no bona fide employees or legitimate business purpose. The money was passed from SPLC to one sham account to a second sham account and then loaded onto prepaid cards to give to the members of the extremist groups. This was designed to shield the source of those funds, and because of this, SPLC is also charged with one count, as I said earlier, of conspiracy to commit money laundering. In conclusion, I want to thank the acting U.S. Attorney in the Middle District of Alabama, Kevin Davidson, who's in his district right now and not able to be with us, for bringing this important case, along with the FBI.
Nothing's going to happen. Who cares? Nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Nobody's going to get arrested. Nobody's going to jail. Nothing's going to happen. At 52 years old, time stamp the date. Time stamp the date. I am officially no longer under the faith that voting matters, that there will we're never coming back from this edge. This is our country. This is what we got now. And that's it. Democrats win. That's it. Tell me how I could think anything else. Cat Alkire donate $20. I'll buy new shoes next month. I love this show. Cat, get your damn shoes. Seriously, I'm going to give you your money back. But that's it. I don't know what to say. It's over. This is it. There's no more politics. Your vote doesn't mean shit. You can't vote your way out of this. It's too big. It's too powerful. They're going to win. This is it. This right here is blatantly something that we have been going after for decades, gerrymandering. Massachusetts did it. New Hampshire did it. All of New England is gerrymandered. California is gerrymandered. And so Texas does, and what we lose Virginia. Do you guys understand how fucking blue we already are? Do you understand how blue my state is? Everything is blue. Everything. There's everything. Judges, mayors, gubernatorial, Senate, House, It's all blue. Yeah, so I don't know what to say. But this isn't just because we lost tonight. It's just you can't beat this machine. You can't beat it. Debbie Boggs donated $20. God bless and deliver America. This is it. There's nothing we can do. And honestly, I pray to God that those red redistrict areas, Debbie, thank you so much for donating. I'm sorry, I'm not, I should be focused more on the donations and how kind people are being. Thank you. The entire Western Virginia, go to West Virginia. Secede. Pass a vote. We'll go like that. Leave. Secede for this. This is bullshit. This is like, we just lost every House seat. It's going to be 10-1. They're going to pass DEI, the LGBTQ, transgenders in the fucking bathroom, put them back into sports, sexually mutilate kids, take our fucking guns, revoke concealed carry. Come get them. I'm not giving them up. I'm not giving them up. Mark it right here. Say it. I'll be the first person to say it. I'm not giving them up. Come get them. I will continue to carry. I will continue to This is the don't tread on me state. And it is about to tread on every single Virginian because these coastal fucking elites, these coastal fucking Washington, D.C. fat cats have taken over this state. This is insanity. Spanberger is hated. Where in the fuck did they win? They won this because they put $96 million and put it on TV and scared Virginians and told them that MAGA was trying to steal the election. They lied blatantly. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Yeah, but we can pretend don't give up. Give up on what? What is there to hold on to? What is there to hold on to? I don't understand. I'm waiting for someone to tell me, don't give up on what? It gave up on us. We don't run this anymore. This is happening in every state across the union. It's just a matter of time. They are knocking out and relocating Democrats across the country. Yes, this affects the Electoral College because now they get to go ahead and pass that the Virginia's electoral votes goes to the popular vote. Listen, I lived in New Mexico. I lived in California. I lived in Colorado. I've been in blue states more than I've been in red states. This isn't a blue state. Colorado is not Virginia. California isn't even represented this way. New Mexico isn't even represented this way. This is 100% blue. They are literally writing out every single Republican in the House. Listen, I don't mean to be the Cenk Uyghur of tonight, but this is no longer about us. You know what I mean? It just isn't. It's not about us. Honestly, I'd rather live in California than Virginia. That's how bad it's going to get. Like, this is insanity. It's just absolute insanity what they're passing and the things that they're passing. And I don't know what to say. Like, I'm shocked. Like, I was like, how could this possibly pass? How could Virginians vote for this? It's no longer Virginia. It's no longer Virginia. This is not Virginia anymore. Frank would donate $20. Thank you. Lock and load. No shit. Yeah, thank God I've got an 800-pound safe down below. I've got plenty of ammunition. I'm not giving up my weapons. I don't give a fuck. Come get them. Come door to door. Where is Mel tonight? I don't know where Mel is. I haven't seen Mel in forever. I don't know where she is. She might be at her mom's. I don't know. Yeah, listen, guys. Like, I can show you a bunch of other videos, and I can show you all the stuff that's going on. Kash Patel and saying there's going to be investigations on voter fraud, and nothing's going to happen. It's just, I've been doing this too long. 5 years every single day, 12, 16 hours a day. Nothing's going to happen. I've been doing this since I was 6 years old. Nobody gets held accountable. It's just like, I'm disenfranchised. You know what I mean? Like, here's Omar. Here's Island Omar. Listen to this. And she gets asked a rebuttal question by this reporter. I showed you this. You remember I showed you this, that this reporter asked her about her finances. You know what she said? She said, "You're stupid. You're stupid." She says to the reporter, "You ask stupid questions." So she comes back and goes, "Now that you've said you were worth this many millions and now you're worth $96,000, do you have a retraction or something you want to tell us now?" And she does it and doubles down. Watch.
Congresswoman Omar, the last time I spoke to you, you said that I was stupid for asking you about your financial disclosure, but there's some discrepancies on there. Would you like to explain that? How did you make such a big mistake on it?
I still do think you're stupid for asking me anything.
I am?
Yes.
Well, what about the American people who are wondering how you made such a big
I have
mistake?
explained to the American people.
What's the explanation?
I have given them the explanation.
Do you want to tell our viewers? Because they're
I don't want to tell you jack shit.
Oh.
How about that?
Okay.
Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Wow. Sherry Lenz says vote blue. Yeah, why? But why? Why do you want to vote blue? That's what I don't understand. Why? Why would you want to vote? What is it about blue that excites you? What about the Democratic Party? You go, oh yeah, this is it. You know what it is? It's the opposition party to Trump. That's the only thing why you want to vote blue. That's it. You just hate Trump. You don't care about the country. You don't care about America. If you did, you would absolutely not. You would repudiate what we just went through with Joe Biden. Why wouldn't you? How are you worse off now with Donald J. Trump? Tell me, is it Iran? Is that what you're worried about? That we're going to go to war? We're not going to war with Iran. We didn't go to war with Venezuela. You thought that was going to happen. Remember when we were going to go to war with Greenland? Remember when we were going to go to war with Canada? Remember all that shit? Remember when we were going to go ahead and go into the Panama Canal and overtake Panama? Remember you guys said that was going to happen? That didn't happen. What about when we hit the drug boats? Remember that? World War III? Did that happen? No, it didn't happen. Why vote blue? Why do you want to vote blue? Just give me one fucking reason why you want to vote blue. 5.5 years on this show, and I've had many a Democrat, many a liberal, many moderates, many Republicans. Nobody can tell me why they want to vote blue except I want to get Trump. Do you guys even realize what you did tonight? It is now going to be 100% just a brawl of gerrymandering. Do you understand how fucking wrong gerrymandering is in every fashion? And if the Supreme Court would have come down on Texas and said, listen, this is racial gerrymandering, I would have stood behind that. I don't even like what Texas did as far as doing that. They had an opportunity to do it. They could have done it in 2021 during the census. 2020. They chose not to do it. But why Virginia? Why where I live? Just tell me what Democrat policies have benefited you in your life. Just tell me. But you can't. You're just a drive-by. And you're getting off. You're like, yeah, I'm so stoked. Lisa Fisher calls me a clown. That's fine, but why am I a clown? Why am I a clown? Tell me. See, you don't even know why. You're just a middle-aged white woman you're not middle-aged. You're an older white woman. But tell me what the Democrat policies are that you're excited about. Tell me what you think Virginia is going to become now. Let's see. I'll tell you what it's going to do. You're going to see data centers approved. You're going to see energy cost double, triple. They already have. Jobs are going to go down. People are going to leave the state because of the overall taxes in this state. You're going to take and confiscate weapons. Crime's going to go up. You're going to turn Fairfax. It's one of the most violent areas in Virginia, Fairfax. I got 3 videos that I can show you. Immigrant who raped 12 different girls in a school. Murders. Every single murder, 70% of the murders, 76% of the murders in Fairfax were committed by illegal immigrants. This is what you're going to create. You're going to kill our fucking state. You're going to turn it into California. You're going to turn it into Baltimore and Maryland. How do you guys not see this? The reason why is because you're an elitist fucking white preppy bitch who lives in a suburb and you're not affected by it. You don't care how many black people die. You don't care how many Mexicans die. You don't care how many women get raped. You don't care what type of drugs and how many people overdose on fentanyl. You don't give a fuck. Why? Because you're an elitist. You don't care about this country. You care about your suburb. At least in these rural communities, we care about everybody. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what your sexual preference, disposition, religion is. We don't care. We just want you to get along and follow the rules in this town and take care of your neighbor, and that's it. But y'all, you don't care about anybody. Why? Well, let me guess. Because out of the 57 most violent cities in America, Democrats own 39 of them. That's why. And it doesn't matter whether it's Detroit, it doesn't matter whether it's Baltimore, it doesn't matter whether it's Los Angeles, it doesn't matter whether it's Seattle, it doesn't matter whether it's Pittsburgh, it doesn't matter if it's Philadelphia, it doesn't matter whether it's the Bronx, it doesn't matter whether it's Chicago. You own all of it. You guys own all of it. And all you do, vote blue. Yeah, what a coward. What a coward you are. Lisa Fisher Patton. You're a coward because you can't make an argument. You just keep putting clown emojis up, but you can't tell me why. And this is why, because you don't even know what you want. You don't even know what you are. This is why the 19th Amendment should be repealed. Seriously. Because you don't know why. You can't explain why I'm a clown. And that's fine. You can do that. You can call me a clown, but you can't back it up. And in the end, all it makes you is a brainwashed automaton. You're a CNN, MSNBC person. 276-200-2105. Call me. Tell me. Tell me why I'm a clown. Be specific. But you didn't win anything today. And you know you didn't. You guys don't like Spanberger. What is it about her that makes her liberal? What is it about her that makes Virginia better than it was? Have you guys even looked at the recent crime reports? Have you looked at taxes? Have you looked at energy? Are roadways and bridges getting fixed? Is infrastructure being taken care of? Do you believe in the Second Amendment? Do you believe in the Constitution of the United States? Do you believe in the Bill of Rights? Do you believe in these things? How does she make those things better? Just tell me how. What are you looking forward to? Besides a clown emoji, can you do it? I don't think you can. I don't think you have the capability. I don't think you have the brains. If she's putting a clown emoji in here, she's talking to me. Even if she's talking to somebody else, who cares? Doesn't matter. These are my people in here. You can't explain. If all you're doing is putting a clown emoji, you're the clown. You're too dumb to make an argument. Oh, Lisa was responding to a vote blue comment. Sorry, I thought I was going off on her. Sorry. Apologize. Lisa, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were. My apologies. My apologies. Now I understand. So she was responding to Charlene. Okay, but Kirsty, I can't see her comment. You understand that? So you get this on election nights. Whenever we lose, you get to trolls coming in. So I'm going to address them. And I just want to have a conversation with them. That's all. Just want to have it. And certainly Lisa, whatever your name is. I'm sorry. I apologize. I wasn't trying to come after you, but that's what happens. This is what happens. So I apologize. I didn't mean to come after you. But you got to understand, this is why it's hard sometimes without Olivia, because Olivia will tell me, hey, Matt, but I can't read chat. So I don't see those things. So I apologize. So last thing, and then we're going to go 294.66. But you know what? Maybe this is the night we deserve. You know, maybe it's the night we deserve. Saul Omar, here's a rebuttal. Okay, Kirsty, I didn't see it. I can't see chat. You understand? I don't see replies. So when somebody puts something in, it looks like they're talking to me. And then you had one troll come in, then you have another troll come in. So you assume it's a group of people. So I understand what you're saying. I've already made an apology for it. This happens sometimes. It's without my wife here. She checks the chat and she lets me know. But I don't see what you guys see. You guys see replies. I don't see replies. I can't. I'm running an entire show. I can't be on social media. So what I see is this. This is all I see. That's it. That's all I see. So I apologize to Lisa. That wasn't, or Lisa. I don't know your name. I'm sorry. It's probably Lisa. I apologize to you. I wasn't trying. I thought you were calling me a clown, and I was already involved with somebody else, and you walked in and stepped into it. That's my fault. I own it. Here is Omar's rebuttal when she was questioned. We saw that. Here is the rest. No, my rebuttal was great, but I don't like coming after somebody who didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. But the person before her, vote blue. You know, it's like, why? But why vote blue? I can, you know what? I will say this. I can even understand why you wouldn't even vote. You know what I mean? Kirsty, thanks for letting me know. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at myself for getting what little tip on me. When I feel stupid, I get I don't like to feel stupid. I don't like to make stupid mistakes. So when I do, I get a little, frustrated. So I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anybody. Nobody did anything wrong. Lisa, I'm sorry I talked to you like that. That wasn't my intention to talk to you like that. I thought you were partnering with a group of people coming in and trolling the show. And I'm not in the mood. So I'm very sorry. That's it. To the other lady, vote blue. I just want to know why you want to vote blue. That's all. I really want to know. I wanted you to call in. I really want to know why you vote blue. But you can't tell me why you vote blue. The only reason you vote blue is because you hate Trump. That's it. Here's Omar, and here's some details on what she's done.
Headline about a certain congresswoman's not so stellar record of honesty and competence. Last year, Ilhan Omar's financial disclosure revealed skyrocketing wealth. It showed a whopping net worth of up to $30 million, a 3,500% increase in wealth compared to just 2 years prior. Now she's trying to convince the world that she's actually only worth $95,000. Still quite a jump from 2 years ago, but in an eye-popping revision of her disclosure, Ms. Omar is saying the multi-million-dollar discrepancy was nothing more than an accounting error. In what world is a multi-billion-dollar correction to a person's financial disclosure considered normal? Perhaps this member's accountant, perhaps Ilhan's accountant, is a graduate from the Quality Leering Center. Either way, this about-face shows incompetence at best and a cover-up at worst. But this is just the latest in a long list of head-turning stories relating to this member from Minnesota. Ilhan cannot escape accountability much longer. Investigations are ongoing in House committees. The Trump administration has waged war on fraud. Her ties to convicted feeding our future fraudsters are well documented. And her defense of these criminals who stole billions from hardworking taxpayers makes it very clear where her allegiance stands. Make no mistake, if Ilhan Omar is discovered to have been involved in any or to have benefited in any way from any fraud, she must be held accountable to the fullest extent. And by the way, that includes marriage fraud. I yield to our leader.
Great, then do something about it. Stop talking. I'm so sick of hearing these people. Who cares? All you do is every day you go up on stage, you lie just as much as the people you're accusing of crimes, and you do nothing. Remember when you guys were going to go get Hunter Biden? You never did. Remember you're going to get Hillary Clinton? You never did. Remember when you're going to go after Adam Schiff? You never did. You guys don't do anything. Swalwell had to throw himself on his own sword and commit seppuku. Here's Lisa Fisher Patton, and I say, God, I feel horrible. I feel horrible. I hate feeling stupid. I hate it. I hate feeling stupid. And I just said, I am so sorry. I thought you were talking to me. I apologize so hard. I can't see who replies. Please forgive me. I feel so, I've been doing so good on that. I hate that. I fucking hate that. Frank Wood donated $10. Hang in there, Matt. Yeah, shitty night, shitty week, shitty month. Just been a shitty month. Alas Panapala says, got a bunch of flags. Wow, dude, really? That's some interesting bedfellows. Should I call you comrade? Yeah. Dude, yeah, Ilhan Omar needs to be deported. Ilhan Omar, yeah, but she won't be. Nobody's going to do anything. We just might need to come to the realization that nothing's going to happen. That's it. Nothing's going to happen. I don't know why the IRS isn't auditing Omar. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why she's not in jail. No, it sucks. It sucks because I don't ever want to make somebody feel small. And what's even worse is when they're a good person and they're like, oh my God, I'm just going to leave. You know, I hate that. Because I don't want to lose a good viewer because I'm being hard on myself. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I don't like you guys. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's going to church. I don't know if it's God. I don't know what it is, but I really don't like to make people feel bad. It's not my goal. It really isn't. I just got caught up in it. That's all. All right, I'm going to stop being hard on myself. This is funny. Riddle me this, Iran. This is a good street interview. And literally using Democrats' own words against them. Watch this.
Iran is a destabilizing, dangerous force in the Middle East. Do you agree with him on that at least?
No.
We would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that. And what do you think he meant by saying those people?
White supremacy. His subhuman people of color.
He's becoming very delusional and honestly showing a little bit of signs of dementia.
This is something someone with dementia would say.
Absolutely.
Had Kamala actually won the election, do you think we would even be in this?
Absolutely not.
And they were not falling for this Iran stuff either.
No.
If Hillary Clinton had just won in the first place, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess.
Yeah, I would go with that. If he had a kind soul, I think anyone can be beautiful, but he is not beautiful.
Yeah.
He's not beautiful inside or out. He's a horrible person.
Did you vote for Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
Did you guys vote for Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
We would not be in this position if she were president today.
Or Kamala. The man truly is insane.
Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris said all of that, not Donald Trump.
Really?
Yes.
That makes me very sad.
Are you serious? They are not.
Yes, they are.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's a gotcha. Good for you.
You've never heard them say this stuff?
No, I haven't.
That was a quote from 2008, right here.
To it. I don't, you know what? Who can believe what we read?
Did you go to the cops about me?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you needed a permit.
I didn't mean to make you cry.
Crying, but it's shameful.
What's shameful about it? There's nothing.
Oh man, you know, can anyone tell me seriously? I'm just being absolutely serious. Can anyone tell me an influencer on the left who uses words like freedom and representation and accountability and constitution and merit? Do we have anyone on the left who does that? I can't think of anybody. And I watch everyone. But I go to the left and I go to the right and I hear they are diametrically opposed. Kirsty donated $10. Thank you, Kirsty. They are diametrically opposed to what we believe. Where did we go so far so fast? I mean, it wasn't like this 40 years ago. It wasn't like this 30 years ago. It wasn't even like this 20 years ago. But you guys, there's only so much we can say is, oh, it's just a small portion of people online. No, it's not. We just saw it tonight in Virginia. You saw millions, 3 million people voted. This is no longer 1% to 2%, a small corner of the social media networks that are feeling this way. This is most of the country. This is most of the country feels this way. We are diametrically opposed. Claude Cessna says, do away with the Electoral College and gerrymandering. Eliminate all the problems. Make it one person, one vote. Do away with all the big corporations and billionaires buying candidates who turn around and represent them. I agree with 90% of what you just said. When you say eliminate all the problems, you mean like eliminate all the problems? Or like take out the trash? Because I'm with you. But do away with the Electoral College? Why would you want to do away with the Electoral College? When you say one person, one vote, it is one person, one vote. 99% of everything you vote for is one person, one vote. It's just the presidential election. And the reason why we have the Electoral College isn't, like, no one's probably ever explained this to you, Claude, because you seem like a good guy. By the way, Cessna, great plane. If you're the owner, I could use some money, so you can donate to us if you'd like. $300,000 would be lovely. The Electoral College is one of the best systems that we have for president for a reason, because the misconception is that he is the president of the people. He's not. He's not. In fact, the president of the United States has absolutely no responsibility to the individual American any way, shape, or form. None. He doesn't report to us. In fact, we don't have any power to recall him. We don't have any power to remove him. That has to be done by the people who we elect. So therefore, the president of the United States is not the president of the people. He is the president of the governors. He's the president of the states. It's even in the name. But everyone says I'm a president of the people. I represent all Americans. No, you don't. You represent the states. The people who represent the Americans are the governors. The governors are the president of our state. And the 10th Amendment transfers the power of representation, if not literally written in law or precedent, and has some sort of modicum of statute, is reserved for the states, and all power is reserved to the states. This is why the president can't just call up a governor and say, you're going to do this or else. Because that's not what the federal government has the power to do, even though some try, and Donald Trump's tried it in the past. But I digress. The Electoral College is based upon population. And each state is representative of the amount of people in that state. And they get a certain electoral votes based upon the population. Now, why do states like Montana and Wyoming, with microcosms of the population of California, New York, Florida, Texas, etc., why do they get one vote? It's disproportionate. Well, it's pretty simple. It's because in the original 13 colonies, every state got equal representation based upon the population of aforementioned state. But where population was shown outside of the Senate, which was 2 per state no matter what, was in the House. And this was the compromise. This is the checks and balances. This gives the House representation specifically on population, and each state, no matter the population, getting 2 representatives in the Senate, and each got an electoral vote because they're a state, and they vote for the president, and the president works for the states, and the governors, the federal government has a responsibility to be the focal and voice box to the states. That's the president's job. He meets with the gubernatorial. He meets with the governors ad nauseum, more than he meets with senators in House and legislature, because the states specifically report to the president of the United States the going-ons of their state, and the federal government communicates its initiatives, its proposals, its ideas, its needs, its wants to the governors. That's why we have an electoral college. And it's fair and it's balanced. If not, you would have California and New York deciding our elections every single year or 4 years. And you can't have that because that's not indicative of the states, is it? That's indicative of territories. And we don't do territorial leadership. We saw how that worked out between the North and the South. We learned what happened with that with the Mason-Dixon line. We learned what happened with that with Texas and Mexico. We learned what happened with that with the Louisiana Purchase. We learned what happened with the purchase of Alaska. Is instead of having independent territories, we annex or we envelop them into the United States of America, which we've done several times. Most recently, did it in what, 60 whatever? There are plenty of states that are not that old. So we do the Electoral College only for the President of the United States for that reason. So no, there's no reason to get rid of the Electoral College. Gerrymandering? Yeah, I'm for it. Eliminate all the problems? Okay. Make it one person, one vote. It already is one person, one vote. Do away with all big corporations. I don't want to do away with corporations, and I don't want to do away with billionaires, but I absolutely agree with you that money is not speech. And I truly believe that political action committees, super PACs, should be eliminated. I believe that Citizens United should be repealed. I think Citizens United is horrible. I think the filibuster should be repealed. It should be a simple majority. +1 vote. That's the rule. I don't believe in the filibuster. I think it is a complete abuse of power. I think it should be removed. And let the chips fall where they may. Do away, or who turn around and represent them instead of we the people. I agree with everything you said except for the Electoral College, basically. Good talking point. Explain the delegates. What do you mean? What do you mean for Electoral College? It's simple. The state overall votes. That decision is based upon the popular vote for the president. Those delegates and those bodies of delegates are simply messengers of and representatives of each vote by a certain amount of people. So if there are 46 electoral votes, those 46 delegates will represent. The state already certifies those votes. The states seal those votes. The states simply send them, and they are called on a federal, at the federal level. But all of that decision is done at the state. When people are like, oh, well, the delegates can switch and they can contest their own vote and all this other stuff, every single election has that. They did it in Hillary Clinton's election. They did it in Trump's election. They did it in Biden's election. But it usually is an infinitesimal amount of votes. And that opposition vote where they change the vote of the state is just a verbal protest. That's all it is. Now, if 50% of those delegates did that, then you would have a contestation, but then it would go back to the states. People are like, well, Mike Pence could do that. No, Mike Pence couldn't do that. Mike Pence was essentially an orator. He was a ceremonial figure simply to say yay or nay on how the states already voted. But delegates are simply that. They're a representation of the body of votes for each state. That's it. That's it. Poor relative, take out $1 million spent on advertising for election. It's antiquated leftover from the 1800s when they didn't have instant communication. I don't know what we're talking about now, but okay. I think a constitutional amendment is needed for term limits. Something's needed because a constitutional amendment for term limits is called voting. They already have term limits. Their terms are up every 2, every 4, or every 6 years. And it's our responsibility to vote them out, but we don't vote them out anymore. Why? Because we're politically divided. We're the Crips and the Bloods. We are essentially urban warfare from gang elements without the crack, without the territory, without the Uzis, without the drive-by shootings. But we are the Crips and the Bloods in the political ideology. We're opposition. And we believe, like, Democrats will celebrate this win in Virginia. They will celebrate. What did they win? They won nothing. They are literally going to destroy a beautiful state. They're going to literally destroy the greatest county in America. This is the safest. It's one of the richest. It's one of the best education systems in the country. Had some of the cheapest energy, lowest prices on houses and land. It's fucked. They're going to ruin this state. I got to get the hell out of here. My house is... It's looking like VA voted weird. Way too many mail-in ballots for Dems on the yes vote for my liking. Just seems shady. Roger, it just is what it is. It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to come of it. They won. I don't think the Supreme Court's going to hear it. Connie says, I'm not from Virginia. I live in Missouri, but I know the outcome from that election tonight affects what will happen in the United States elections in full. I'm not happy with the outcome either. I hope your night gets better, Matt. I have a headache from it. Me too, Connie. I do too. I'm just upset that I hurt that follower. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's it. Listen, here's the truth. Tomorrow the sun will rise. Tomorrow the sun will rise. That's it. It'll rise. And everything's going to be okay. And we're all going to survive. But you guys, this is not good for midterms. This thing should have failed hands down. It should have failed hands down. And it didn't. And we are in deep shit. We are in deep shit in Virginia. But tomorrow the sun will rise. Or it won't. What can you do about it? I'm going to go. I'm going to go watch my hockey game. Oh, Claude says, nationwide, there has been several elections where the majority of the votes elected one candidate and the electoral vote elected the other candidate. Yes. But that has, first of all, that has nothing to do with anything. We don't go by the popular vote. Okay. Claude, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Claude, what you're saying is two different things. We don't tally our votes by the popular vote. Each state takes the amount of votes that are for the candidate in the individual state to distribute its electoral votes towards, which means absolutely that there are accumulated votes nationwide. But the reason why is because Montana or Wyoming, that has 1 million or less people, 700,000 and almost 1 million people, can't compete with California with 39, 42 million people, whatever it is, or Texas, which is 32 some odd million people or 28 million people, whatever it is. So you have more people voting in certain states. Certain states have more money to get out the vote. Certain states have easier voter registration because they don't have people who live in Rust Belts or rural counties. And they can get to polling centers a lot easier. Some people have a better get out the youth movement vote because there's more money in that area. Politicians dump more money into there. DNC and RNC puts more money in there. So there's disadvantages for these states. So you're going to see these big cities get out and vote. You're going to see California just by attrition will have higher vote totals. But that doesn't mean that the states voted for that candidate in a larger quantity. It means that certain states did. This is why the popular vote, you're making my argument of why the popular vote is an ineffectual way of voting for the president. Because you're saying that as long as you have a big city that adds 30 million votes to the overall voting totals, which is more than 20% of the overall voter registry, then you're good. That's not a balanced system. What you're saying is you want, let's look at Kamala Harris. Donald Trump won what, 480 some odd counties in 2024? Kamala Harris won what, 56? And he only won by what, 1.5 million votes? Are you fucking kidding me? That's what you want? You want someone who can win 56 counties, who wins 70 counties to win the election? That's ridiculous. I don't agree with you at all. I think that's a person who doesn't understand the Electoral College, with all due respect. You know what I mean? Get the RV and head out when the kids graduate. We are, but we've got 4 years. So that's my point is, yes, you've had presidential candidates who've lost the popular vote, but they didn't lose the popular vote. We don't count the popular vote for the president, so it's stupid. That's like saying you count the regular season. So the person who wasn't number one in regular season, but won Stanley Cup in the playoffs, isn't the Stanley Cup holder. Yes, they are. They won in the playoffs. It's over. They won the Electoral College. The popular vote's immaterial. So is regular season. Nobody cares about the regular season when the playoff starts. The reason why is because it doesn't determine who's going to win. If they did, then the Colorado Avalanche would have 6 cups, but they don't. That's the way it works. You guys don't understand how this works. Drya and her cat says, you're right. They don't understand 100%. Thanks for watching. Nice to see you over on Instagram. Are you my lone person over on Instagram watching? Good to see you. That's sweet. Good to see Instagram. I love Instagram. I really do. We've grown our Instagram channel immensely. We're like 37,000 followers, but it's hard on live. But thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. So that's it, folks. You don't want the popular vote because we're seeing how the popular vote works here. Because then you have to ask yourself the question, okay, well, if we're going to allow the popular vote to decide the presidential election, then do we start gerrymandering those counties based upon the presidential vote? Can you imagine what's going to happen? Can you imagine? Think about that. Can you imagine what people in power will do if all of a sudden it changes to the popular vote? You think gerrymandering is bad now? For the highest office in the land, the President of the United States, do you think if it went to the popular vote that you wouldn't even see gerrymandering in every single county in every single state? Oh my God, it'd be horrible. California gives all electoral votes to the popular vote winner. Some states give electoral votes to both parties no. Only New Hampshire and Nebraska do that. New Hampshire splits its votes and Nebraska splits its votes. I believe Nebraska has 5. I believe New Hampshire has 3. If I'm not mistaken, there's only 2. The electoral vote, California doesn't distribute on the popular vote. Virginia just put through an amendment to do that. But no, if you guys have to understand, California bases it on the popular vote inside California. It doesn't give its electoral votes based upon the national. That's what Virginia is proposing, is if their state votes for Trump, but nationally Hillary Clinton won, then they give their electorals to Hillary Clinton. That is not how it works right now. Okay? Okay? So California gives its electoral votes based upon the California popular vote for the president. It doesn't do national. This is really important to understand, y'all. This is really, what the hell happened to our Republican Party? It's a great question. Why is Governor Youngkin the only one out there? You should have Johnson out there. You should have the RNC out there. They should be doing interviews on our show. You know, I asked Scott Pressler to be here. He didn't show up. You know how many people I asked to be on the show? If we just had an extra 20,000 votes, would it have made a difference? Probably. True democracy. 50.9% of the population could piss on the cornflakes of the other 49.9% mob rule. Never forget the Constitutional Law 101. Yeah, but 50.9% of the population doesn't vote, and 49% of the 9% of the other population does vote. You see what I'm saying? So really, the truth of what you're trying to say is 1/3 of the population, and 50% of that 1/3 controls the life of 2/3 of the population. That's even worse. I'm aware we're a constitutional republic, but does it seem like we're a constitutional republic right now? A nation of laws? Does it really seem that way? It seems like a fucking democracy to me. It seems like the individualism is being forgotten and collectivism is the new way of doing things, because we're seeing it right now. You're seeing a super majority in Virginia because somebody changed district lines. Does that seem like a republic? No, it seems like what they did in fucking Rome. It seems like what they did in Greece. And guess what happened to those democracies? They fell. We resemble more of a democracy than we do now. You want to know why? Executive orders is now passing for proposed legislation. You have judges making decisions on states' constitutions, which is not their job. They're there to interpret the law, not write the fucking law. Why are they changing the state's constitution of Virginia, of Philadelphia, changing the voting laws? That's the FEC's job. The federal government comes in and talks to the states, and they go ahead and decide how to run those elections, but under federal guidelines. Why are judges superseding that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we're not a fucking republic. We're a democracy. We're a joke. The almighty dollar. The oligarchs run our country. Come on, y'all. I love it when someone said that on my video today. They're like, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? We are so far removed from the founding fathers. We're not even if the founding fathers saw this, you know what they would say? Revolt. Revolt. We are now separatists, all of us. Federalists and anti-federalists are unifying together against the current government. They would ask us to revolt and have another revolution. That's what they would say. They wouldn't say, well, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. You guys, you're so worried about the fucking nuance. Start focusing on the big prize here. We're not a republic. A republic is individual rights are equally represented. We're not represented. How are you represented? How is a person who literally has 275 to 700,000 constituents, how is that person representing you properly? If you have a grievance against our government, what do? If you have a penalty from the IRS, have you tried calling them and getting that solved? I've been working on mine for 9 months. Have you been to the DMV lately? Have you tried to go to the Veteran Affairs and have your case looked at and have them open up your folder and file? Guys, I don't know what we're talking about here, but we're not represented anymore. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. Whether we're a republic, a democracy, an oligarchy, a theocracy, it matters not. What we are is a complete shit show, and we are run. No longer is this a capitalistic society that's supported by a constitutional republic that votes democratically elected representatives. We are 100% totalitarianism with oligarchs running our country. That is where we're at. Yeah, Sherry Starr says it best. 250 years is a critical milestone of countries that remain in power. We are at that milestone. Yeah, ask me how the Roman Empire is doing. How's the English Empire? How's the Ottoman Empire? How's the Ming Dynasty doing? Right? How are the Mongolians doing? How's Napoleon Bonaparte? How's Mussolini? Do we have the little Mussolinis running around? How's Adolf Hitler doing? How's King George doing? How's King James doing? Folks, we can go on and on and on and on and on throughout history. There's a reason why empires fall. And they usually fall under their own weight. And if you look at Rome, and you look at Greece, and you look at most of the empires, I said this earlier, there's two things that take place. They are consumed by their own bureaucracy and eat themselves alive. And eventually the people rise up and remove them from power, whether that be an enemy from a foreign soil or from within. This is what happens. Folks, we had a fucking revolution over a 3% tax. Yes, and rape and confiscation of weapons and lands and titles and nobility and all that other type of stuff. But yes, they threw tea in the harbor, blah, 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 blah. We had a revolution. 3% tax. We are taxed, what, 37% in some cases now? Matt, do you think that's why they've been talking about the democracy for the last 8 years? Threat to democracy, downfall of democracy? I don't care. I don't care what you call it. It's totalitarianism with an oligarchy. That's it. That's what we are. We're not even remotely close to a theocratic government. This isn't anarchy. It is turning into mob rule. It is turning into a democracy. It is turning into the corrupt ability and to the haves and have-nots. You have an elite class and you have everyone else. We have an elite class and everyone else. That's it. If there were no lines, they wouldn't have to keep changing them. I agree with what you are now saying about the fact that we are so far away from where we started. Good. You should agree with me about the Electoral College too, because the Electoral College is actually one of the smartest things that we do. We should do other things like that, but we don't. We do stupid things. Hi, this is Matt. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, it's Larry.
What's up, Larry?
Hey, so I was thinking, so John Adams took over the Supreme Court.
Yep.
When he was the vice president.
Correct.
Why can't J.D. Vance go in there to move forward the SAVE Act? Because the reason that John Adams did it, one of the reasons they did it was because he was trying to move forward the government. Right. He was trying to keep it flowing. So why can't J.D. Vance do that?
Well, J.D. Vance can't do that because this isn't a legal issue. The SAVE Act isn't under consultation from constitutional law because it isn't a law yet. It has to be voted in. So you either need to pass this at the state level and then codify it with a 2/3 majority, and they haven't done that. So if this doesn't get out of the state, the Supreme Court can't even touch it. If it doesn't get out at the state level to move into the federal level, Supreme Court has no authority. This would be the state Supreme Court who would decide this, but not even that can be done. Not even at the district level, because it's a piece of legislation that hasn't been voted on and turned into law. Now, if they did that, and it was the constitutionality, Supreme Court certainly would hear it and say this is constitutional or not constitutional. And then if it was ratified and signed by the President of the United States, it would just move forward as law. And if it was not, it would be kicked back down to the House or Senate, whoever the original bill sponsor and creator was, so in this case would be the House, would have to make provisions and changes for the Supreme Court. And once they met those requirements, that bill would move forward. But he can't just take over the Supreme Court and go in and say, because that's not the problem. We have the majority. The Supreme Court is in favor of the SAVE Act and would pass it. But judges interpret law. They don't enforce or create legislation. They shouldn't. They do it. They certainly did it during COVID now, didn't they, Larry?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
But no, I was reading the story about the other day about John Adams. I'm just like, why don't just J.D. Vance go in there and just be like, hey, SAVE Act.
Well, like I said, that's why. Now, I don't remember what reference John Adams did. Can you tell me what John Adams, what piece of legislation, or was it?
Oh, this was way long ago. I can't even remember.
This had to be something that the Supreme Court was deciding on the constitutionality of and then came in. I have never heard of the Vice President of the United States overtaking the Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah, John Adams.
I know that, but
Yeah,
well, listen, I know a president of the United States. I know Abraham Lincoln did it when he suspended habeas corpus because he was absolutely against the Supreme Court. But that's different. Suspending habeas corpus is based upon the enforcement of the president's jurisdiction, being the head executive of the land, and habeas corpus being a judicial proceeding. So unless John Adams went in and interfered with something that had to do with like borders or confiscation of lands or goods or some sort of something like that. I don't know. Well, fuck it. Let's look it up. It's not like we don't have the internet in front of us.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's getting worked up. It's like, oh, do we get rid of the filibuster? Do we not? I'm like, well, why don't we go to why don't we just go to the filibuster the way it used to be?
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, I don't want to get rid of the filibuster. Let's put J.D. Vance in there. Have him pull a John Adams.
Well, let's listen to this. Right before leaving office in 1801, okay, I know what this is. This is the Judiciary Act of 1801. This law created new federal judgeships, and Adams quickly filed them with Federalist allies. These appointments became known as midnight judges. It was controversial because it looked like he was trying to lock in party influence in the judiciary. This was the expansion of the court. He didn't go in and seize the court. He expanded the court. This is what Democrats wanted to do. So this is 1801 Judiciary Act. I do know of it. But it wasn't a single decision like the SAVE Act. They have no authority over the SAVE Act in any way, shape, or form. They can't even check its constitutionality until it becomes law. So it's immaterial.
All right.
Yeah. And as far as packing the Supreme Court, that's absolutely something they could do and would do, and that's exactly what they would do.
Carville wants to do that bad.
Well, the Democrats want to do that. You know they want to do that. This is what they're going to do if they win the House and the Senate.
I know. Shit, I thought there was another avenue. I was trying to get away from the filibuster. I thought there was another avenue.
Dude, the filibuster is the only choice, and it's so stupid.
I know.
Republicans have no spine, dude. They don't.
I'm well aware of that.
Larry, you're in the military.
I were.
Right, but you were in the military. So let me ask you a question. You were Army, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was Navy. So although we play football every single year, we play football against each other in our heads, right? You want Army to win. I want Navy to win. But what if I told you that there was some things that we didn't agree with the NCAA, and we could present some evidence that ultimately would lose football at a collegiate level for everyone? Would you do it? Think about that first. Of course not. And neither would I. Because although we may have some disagreements with the NCAA and how Notre Dame gets preferential treatment and has a contract with ABC, and that the Army and Navy games aren't televised outside of just the Army-Navy game at Annapolis or Citadel, we aren't going to cut our fucking college football programs nationally, because that wouldn't be in our best interest, would it?
No.
All right, then why do we expect senators and state legislatures to hold each other accountable? Because it's the exact same thing.
Oh, they don't.
But they won't, because it's not in their best interest to. They're not going to cut their funding. They're not going to cut their fundraising. They're not going to cut the money that they take. They're not going to cut their special interests, because if they hold one accountable, they all get held accountable. And if you and I go and take down Notre Dame, then we all go down.
Yep, fact.
That's what it's all about. It's all about self-serving save asses. And I'm telling you, man, the only thing that's going to do it, there's only one way to do it. There's only one way. And I'm 52 years old and I got no desire to do. I want to see my kids grow up. I will save my pennies. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. I will be a voice of opposition, but this is over, dude. There's no coming back from this. We are now Greece.
I wish that I disagreed.
Yeah. Me too.
You know what? This is the best show I've seen in a long time. You're killing it, brother.
Dude, you need to watch more, because we've been doing good for a while now.
I know. I take naps.
Well, no, I know what you like. You like it when I get down and dirty and start cutting, and it's been a while, but maybe we do need to get back to the Constitution more. Maybe we do need to get back to legal precedent. Maybe we do need to, stop showing dick and fart joke videos and do more about breaking people down and why the things that are happening are happening. I could do a better job. So I take the feedback, even if that wasn't what you were giving me. That's what I took from it.
No, you're fine. I hear about the Constitution. That's why I was listening about that John Adams story the other day. I'm like, well, why don't fucking J.D. Vance
because I don't think J.D. Vance wants that either. I think you know what I think J.D. Vance wants?
Probably doesn't.
I think J.D. Vance wants 2028.
He probably doesn't.
No, he's going to sit back and he's going to cash in. Listen, when you become the president of the United States, you get to make billions of dollars. The Bidens did it. Fucking Jared Kushner did it. Trump has enriched himself too. The Bushes enriched themselves. The Clintons enriched themselves. The Obamas enriched themselves. Why wouldn't you want to become president? You don't have to do anything, and you become a multi-fucking millionaire.
I know, but I mean, as far as Trump's concerned, like, this is it for him. So
yeah,
he's just kind of all in at this point. I ain't worried about Iran.
I don't
let
think
it play out the way it plays out.
Well, I understand why people say that. Listen, I hold Trump into a higher standard than most presidents in the past, because at least he doesn't lie to us. You know what I mean? At least he doesn't lie to us.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He tells us exactly what he's going to do, and he does it. And, his stance on Iran's been the same way for 30 years. His stance on vaccines, his stance on COVID, he does what he's going to do. He talked about tariffs. He said he put tariffs in the first term. He did it in the second term. He's at least honest.
I agree.
That's it. He frustrates me sometimes. Here's the thing that really drives me crazy, bro. I am so sick of seeing these hearings and nobody does anything. Isla Omar, she fucks her brother. It's an illegal marriage. She's embezzling money. Okay, then put her in handcuffs. Make a charge and arrest her. That's what would happen to me.
I know.
Dude, if I didn't pay my taxes, do you know, if I did not pay my taxes on April 15th, I would have had a penalty in the thousands of dollars.
Oh, you would have a deli.
Oh, dude, I would get arrested in a heartbeat. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? If I went and claimed that I was worth $300 million and then came back and said I was worth $95K, Donald Trump got 34 fucking felony convictions for a clerical error that he didn't even put in, and they were all the same error. But Isla Omar does it. Come on. Come on.
And let's Biden and Mayorkas letting in 10 million plus.
Easily.
That's okay. That's fine. Okay, we're just going to let that slide.
Right.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
Dude,
that's fine.
Listen, it's become so just
bad.
It's just boring. I've
so bad.
Somebody said to me, like, Matt, why don't you do a video game channel or a model channel? I'm building this F-14 148 scale right now, and it's like everybody comes over.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, dude, everyone who comes over is like, oh my God. Like the fucking detail that you do. I you know what? And I'm like, because everyone's been doing those. I'm going to keep doing the politics. I'm not black-pilled. I'm just honest. There is no benefit from getting worked up over this shit anymore, because honestly, all it means, dude, all this means is more power for more people to screw us over. It doesn't matter who's there. They're all going to screw us over. Who cares?
Oh, for sure. But it's just so exhausting. It really is. Yeah. It's just like, well, everybody shut the fuck up. Quit the noise. Yeah. Like, if you're going to do a hearing, actually do a hearing.
Yeah.
No, here's my question. I'm not going to allow you to answer, and I'm just going to keep rambling. Shut up.
Oh, God.
Let them answer.
Dude, I just hope one day that I get to go to a Senate Oversight Committee or House Oversight Committee, and I get to be put on the stand and sworn in, because the moment they said I'm going to reclaim my own time, I'm gonna stand up.
I would relish the day.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna break out that Constitution, and I'm gonna say, you're going to do what? You're going to relinquish my time for you? I'm going to call a quorum. And I am actually going to call a quorum of the states. And we're going to have a little conversation. Yeah. And you guys have no idea. The power of the people is so profound. The thing is that we're neutered and we don't understand what we can actually do. But see, the thing is...
Who was that?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, who was that? I think it was Mark Levin that was calling for a convention of states. Yeah, why haven't we done that?
Because if you open up a convention of state, if your original provision doesn't go through, you open up to other constitutional amendments. It's dangerous. Now, remember the stolen election bullshit. You remember I said we need to push a convention of states and challenge the constitutionality of the election. We didn't start doing it until it was too late. So you got Texas doing it, and you got like 16 other states signed up, and we had the numbers to do it. But once again, we have no backbone. This is kabuki theater. Nothing is going to be done. They threw Christians into pits with lions in order to distract us. They would go ahead and don't you remember when they would allow the nobility to go ahead and dress up in peasants' clothing and put on performance in the medieval days, as the kings and queens would do that, and they were able to throw rotten vegetables at the lower princes and noble barons once a year. They would do this in the Volksgrads. They would give these people very, very small bits of illusion of power and success, and give them bread once a month and call it, a gift from the nobility. This is what they do.
And
They keep us fed, dude. They just keep us entertained, and they just go, here you go. Here's Trump. We're going to put him in office, but we're not going to do anything for him, and we're not going to let him make any real change because there's trillions of dollars at hand. Of course, they're not going to do anything.
I thought he was going to root this stuff out. I thought he was going to root it out.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's done good so far.
Wait a second.
I mean,
hold on. Larry, I got to address something. Who said the Bible was missing? Hold on a second. Hold on.
No, you're good.
I just noticed the Bible is missing from the shelf. I believe that is a good thing. The Bible gets used every Sunday and every day. It's not there because we went to church on Sunday, and it's over there on that table. And because I was looking some stuff up when I was doing my modeling, so the Bible gets used every day. I just forgot to put it back. So no, I'm not sorry, Larry. I'm answering Tammy.
No, you're fine.
That's the only reason the Bible.
I think it's crazy. From like when I first started watching you were so anti-religion. Like you were just like, I'm not in it, and now you're in it, and it's crazy.
I wasn't
it's
anti. I just wasn't going to pretend I was something that I wasn't. I always protected Christians, Larry. I always defended people's faith, and always was so amazed at how people could have faith, and I admired them. I always have. But you're right. I know,
but you just
for me.
were not interested, and now that you're in it, I'm just like, oh man, that's great. That is great.
Are you wearing my "Don't Unfriend Me" sweater?
Yeah, you gave it to me.
Holy shit, that thing's like a dress on you, dude. Will you take my order, ma'am? Nothing. My son just came in and gave me the Bible. See, my family watches the show and they listen, so he just went and got the Bible and brought it in. Larry, you get last word. You know the drill, man. You get a minute, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here and go watch my hockey game.
I don't really have a last word because I forgot what we was talking about.
All right, then let me finish up with this. Sorry.
We kind of bounced around from Supreme Court to religion. I forgot where we were at.
Let me give you. Can I take your minute then?
You may.
I want to apologize to you. There was a lot of times I was rude, very sensitive, and I treated you like shit. And I had no reason to do that, and I want to apologize greatly. That was wrong of me. And you've always been a good friend, and you've always been a kind listener. And, I apologize for the way I treated you sometimes.
Well, you don't have to do that.
I know I don't, but I did it anyway.
I was the hostile party through most of it. It's my fault. Don't worry about it. I was the aggressor, so I apologize.
Well, doesn't matter. I love you, and I hope you come back more and listen more.
I love you too, bro.
All right, man. Talk to you.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, bye. Dude, I don't know what... someone just asked me. Someone just said, Matt, how do we get out of this? I'll tell you how we get out of this. That's how we get out of this. If every single person in America picked up the phone and called someone that they've lost over politics, if someone picked up the phone or went over to a neighbor's house and brought them a fucking potato salad, if you went to an ex who you broke up with over stupid shit, she got an abortion and you wouldn't listen to her, and you called her a whore and a murderer, and she made a mistake, or somebody cheated on you, or they took your money, or they just said Trump was a dick and you never listened to him again, or they forced you to wear a mask when you went over to your house, whatever it is. Man, we're all sinners and we all make mistakes and we are all bad. We're just bad. Every one of us. Every one of us, we're not worthy. We're not worthy of God's grace. But my God, we are worthy of each other's. We have got to find a way to be better to each other. We have got to find a way to learn how to say we're sorry. We've got to learn to find a way that we have to get past the neurons. We've got to get past the neuron pathways which control us, and that stupid amount of pride that sits in the back of our head that will not allow us to say, I'm wrong. We're fighting the wrong people. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting them. But we're not. We've got to figure it out. We've got to figure this out. But maybe it starts with that one conversation where you can just say, hey, man, I'm sorry. Or, hey, I've missed you. Or, hey, I love you. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. There's nothing wrong with eating some humble pie. Just a thought. Folks, we're back tomorrow. It's going to be Barry Morgenstein and I. Just him and I. And you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait. I love Barry. I can't explain to you the love I have for this man. He's just a good dude, and he's going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be him and I. We're going to have a good time. Thank you all. Thanks for hitting goal. Thanks for doing everything you do. We will survive. We'll move on. Please share the show. Please like the show. If you haven't, go pick up a shirt. Go pick up a hat. Go pick up some coffee. Red Friday hats. I'm going to get these built tomorrow. They'll be on the show. I promise. I'm going to get them on the site. I know a bunch of you want them. Save 10%. Use code DUMB10. It's right up there. Use code DUMB10. DUM10. Save 10%. Go buy something from the store. See you guys tomorrow. God bless. Talk to you later. Bye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.